amazing? It's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick-a-card reading. If you are one of my returning darlings or are a brand new viewer, I am so excited to be sharing this reading with you. But first, if you haven't already and you would like to, please visit my website and sign up for my newsletter for exclusive giveaways, including free personal readings, tarot decks, and more. Also, please make sure to follow me on my new revamped Instagram, where I will be posting weekly and also Instagram TV posts coming in February. But for today, we are going to be getting right into this and asking the question, what will your journey to marriage be? You know, what will be happening in that in-between time between now when you're watching this video and when you meet that person and walk down the aisle, right? So I went ahead and I pulled until I got cards that were specific indicators that you finally found that person and you're getting married. So for some of these stacks, they're a little bit bigger than others, and some of them are a little bit shorter. So I feel like that's just because some stacks might have a few more lessons they have to learn, maybe a few more elements in their life that they have to really bring together and weave in beautifully before they can have that partnership really come to full fruition, right? But regardless, we are going to cover all of that and then some. So as per usual, we have three lovely stacks in front of us. We have stack 1, stack 2, and stack 3. Now you can choose based off of the energy of the pile, the number of the pile, or the item associated with each stack. So for stack 1, we have this beautiful crystal kind of diamondy pin. It's actually a button, which is really cool. My great-grandmother collected buttons, so we have a lot of really cool vintage buttons. For stack 2, we have this cat pendant, and the crystal ball actually moves. It's really neat when you shine the light on it. It's just so beautiful, right? And going on to stack 3, we have this butterfly pendant. How pretty is that, right? So I will give you a few seconds to choose, but first, you can definitely choose more than one pile. You can choose just one. If it doesn't resonate, you can always go back and choose another. I just wanted to say that really quick before we go on. But first, let's take a deep breath in. Let's hold it. And release. And with that, I will give you a few seconds to choose, and I will see you at your stack. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 1. Let's get right into your reading and see what will your journey to marriage look like. So right off the bat, I want to address that you chose the button. Woohoo! So this is a really wonderful item to have chosen, because if you were to look around the circle, we have 8 circles where there are small crystals and then 8 long crystal columns. Now this would be the number 16 plus the big crystal in the middle would be the number 17, which is also an 8. So I feel like the number 8 is a very big deal. Maybe you're going to start seeing synchronicities 888 everywhere that you go, maybe even the number 88. Maybe for some of you, the month of August is very important as well, or you were born on the 8th day. Maybe for some of you, you just are very excited and very gung-ho to be meeting the person that you're going to be marrying. You want to step right into a partnership like yesterday, right? But it's very much saying, take your time, slow down. There are still other areas in your life that you need to master. Maybe even mastering the art of being excited to go out to events by yourself, or to experience kind of new exciting opportunities alone. There's so much to be said about being a powerful single person and stepping into that energy and allowing yourself to shine by doing the things that make you excited, by traveling, by experiencing the world, by maybe even pursuing your passions and the things that light that fire underneath you, right? So make sure that you allow yourself to shine and really go through that purification going forward, because as you step into this marriage with your next partner, maybe even with your, you know, it could be your next partner, but definitely your future partner, there's going to be a lot less time before that. So make sure that you have all of your goals accomplished before this person comes into your life, because then that way it's more time that not only you can spend with your future partner, but it's less time that you have to spend worrying about your finances or your own happiness or your own self-confidence. Because I feel like if you were to get into a relationship with this person right off the bat, maybe it wouldn't be good, right? Maybe there's still lessons that the two of you both have to learn. Like, even if you're someone who is extremely advanced, maybe your future partner is someone who still has to grow and still has to evolve. And that's what's the holdup here, right? Regardless, going on to your first two cards, these are your animal language cards, and these are talking about characteristics, qualities, and traits of the person that you will be marrying. So we have number 43, red squirrel, and number 2, blue whale. Oh my goodness, these are awesome cards because we have red and blue energies. Now, the red is talking about divine masculine energy, someone who is incredibly headstrong, they persevere, they're resilient, someone who just keeps going towards their goals and their dreams. They're very, very ambitious, right? But with the blue, we also have that divine feminine aspect. They're incredibly spiritual, they're intuitive. This is someone who always trusts their gut instinct, but they're also very emotional. This is someone who feels their emotions very deeply. This is someone who doesn't shy away from being vulnerable in front of you as well. They're very, very musical. I feel like this is someone who loves instruments. They love to sing. They love to express themselves. And I feel like they also express themselves through the clothing that they wear. I keep hearing, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe this is someone who might kind of stray from the traditional person that you might date, but this person is someone who is very untraditional. They don't do things in the same way that most other people do. Now, that's why we actually have the number 43, which would be the number 7. This might be someone who was an indigo child or now is an indigo adult, right? So they are a natural born leader. This is someone who's incredibly gifted and incredibly talented. They have a lot of natural talents that they were just sort of born with, that they were gifted with, right? For some of them, they are very good with learning languages. For others, they're very good with science. For others, maybe it's just sort of artistic talents and techniques that they were able to really hone in on at a young age, that maybe even their parents were like, can you imagine that Brandon's doing this stuff, right? He's already stippling and he's 5, right? So I feel like you're going to really see this person as someone who is incredibly talented, as someone who is incredibly intellectual at the same time, and just brilliant all around the board. Now, with the number 7, I feel like this is someone who does things in a way that not everyone maybe agrees with. Maybe it doesn't make sense to everyone, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if it makes sense to them, that is the only thing that counts, right? Now, with red squirrel especially, this is someone who prepares for the future. This is someone who looks ahead and says, you know, hey, this is what I want going forward. This is who I want to be in 5, 10, 20 years going forward. And they're going to kind of plant the seeds of intention, if you will. It would be the best way to put it. And with the red squirrel energy, do you see how he's holding this acorn? I feel like your future partner is someone who has surrendered to the flow of the universe, someone who trusts that everything is going to work out the way that it's supposed to, in the timing and order that everything's supposed to work out. So even though you might be someone who is kind of sitting on the sidelines and saying, oh my goodness, I hope my future partner comes in a little bit faster, your future partner is also someone who, you know, they're very excited to be in a partnership, but they're also like, I'm going to spend this time focusing on myself, achieving my goals, so then that way I can be the best possible person for my wife or husband going forward, right? With red squirrel as well, when they go through hibernation and when they go through the winter, they hide all of their acorns in the ground so they can find it at a later date. Now, with this energy, they can be a little bit forgetful. They can forget that they placed their acorn in a certain spot. And when that happens, a beautiful, magnificent tree is grown in its spot, which will provide acorns for many, many generations to come. And those are happy accidents. These are the beautiful moments in life where maybe things don't go the way we planned, but they turn out even better than before, right? And maybe it was a little bit more work. Maybe it was a little bit harder, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot sweeter of rewards. It's going to give you those just desserts, right? And that's how your future partner sees it. This is someone who doesn't mind going down the road untraveled or the path that seems a little bit more rugged if it means that they're going to end up going towards their dreams, and if it means that they're going to be in a healthier environment. This is someone who is constantly bettering themselves and constantly evolving to be the best version of themselves. Now, with red squirrel, it says resourcefulness, vigilance, preparation, and busyness. So again, they're always prepared. This is someone who maybe even likes to prepare for the worst. And maybe that's why they're so optimistic, is because they imagine, well, what could be the possible worst case scenario that happens here? And then whenever it doesn't happen like that, it's an addition. You know, this is someone who is just extremely happy with anything extra that they might get. This is someone who understands that they're the master of their emotions and they're the master of their destiny. The only person that is in charge of their emotions is them. This isn't the type of person who is going to be passive aggressive at you. This isn't the type of person who is going to hold grudges or, you know, maybe even hold on to past beliefs about a person. This is someone who moves on very freely, and this is someone who understands, you know, we all need room to grow and we all need room for forgiveness. This is someone who is incredibly compassionate and understanding. And again, I feel like they are an empath. I feel like this is someone who might even absorb a lot of energy, so they need time by themselves. They need time for solitude and time for reflection, right? Maybe listening to music. Music might be incredibly healing for the person that you will be marrying. But with resourcefulness, I feel like this is someone who loves doing DIYs. This is someone who is incredibly crafty. Maybe they recycle at the same time. I feel like this is someone who is very environmentally friendly and environmentally conscientious. You know, maybe they love to reuse their water bottles. Maybe this is someone who just loves to repurpose. They don't like to throw away any kind of jars. You know, maybe this is someone who keeps a lot of jars and a lot of plastic containers in their house to put away food, or maybe even as, maybe even painter's cups. I keep seeing in my mind someone having a jar full of water, and then they just have all of their paintbrushes inside of it, and it's just like a regular sauce can, you know, or a regular kind of a sauce jar, and you're just sort of like, oh, that's awesome that they reuse these things, right? But this is someone who is incredibly crafty and very resourceful. They feel like they have everything that they could potentially need, and they make do with what they have. It's very much this energy of waste not, want not, right? But with vigilance, this is someone who is incredibly vigilant, especially towards their own goals and towards their own ambitions. This is someone who is always, again, pushing themselves forward and giving 110% to everything that they do. With busyness, this is someone who loves to feel very busy. This is someone who maybe even measures their worth off of the things that they can manage to get accomplished in a day. If they feel like they had a lazy day, if they feel like they didn't get as much done in the office, they're going to beat themselves up about it, and they're going to feel pretty kind of gloomy about it. Like, not gonna lie, this is someone who maybe they love to see their work measured in physical projects done. Maybe this is someone who's a handyman. Maybe they actually build houses. Maybe they're in construction. Maybe this is someone who works in pottery or with actual sheet music, and when they can't sit down and finish a piece, it is very, very frustrating for them. Maybe this is someone who from time to time suffers with artist block as well, so it's hard for them to get back on track, especially since the thing that they love to do is also their career, right? I feel like they found a way to implement their hobby into a way that they make money, but that's also very frustrating from them from time to time, because they have to find ways to ground themselves and to bring the joy back into what they do, right? Now with number 2, Blue Whale, the number 2 would be talking about equilibrium, being balanced with themselves, as well being balanced with those polarities, that divine masculine, that divine feminine. You know, even though they are both very, very different energies, one is a little bit more logical and headstrong, and one is a little bit more in their heart feelings, one is a little bit more nurturing. I feel like this is someone who has really been able to weave them together beautifully, right? And that's something you're really going to admire about this person. They're very humble, they're very down to earth. This is someone who, again, they like to have very deep conversations with you. They don't like to just have surface level things. They love to, you know, really dive deep, but they also really love to make you laugh. They love to make you smile. They love to see you shine bright, right? And be in your power. They love to see you as someone who is incredibly strong, incredibly independent at the same time. Now with Blue Whale, it says unity, resonance, magnificence, and mastery. So again, you know, this is someone who has mastered every element of themselves and every aspect going forward. They want to be the best that they can be, and they want the same for you. They want you to be mastering your own elements. They want you to be feeling comfortable in yourself and in your own achievements, right, and in your own endeavors. Now with unity, this is someone who takes partnerships incredibly seriously, especially with the number 2. Oh my goodness, you know, this is someone who is very much in that ride or die energy. You never have to worry about them straying. This is someone who is going to have a very firm foundation with you. They're also very, very good with time management, money management, management in general. Maybe they're they're a manager for some of you, maybe they're CEOs, maybe they own their own business. But regardless, they are going to love having a wonderful unity with you. They're going to love having a healthy partnership because maybe that's something they never actually had in the past, was something that they can return home to and really lean on when times are going really tough. Now, with resonance, I feel like the two of you are really going to resonate with each other. It's almost like the two of you knew each other in a past life. Even it kind of reminds me of the Judgment card, almost in a way, especially with how the blue whale is raising out of the water. It reminds me of how in the card the angels are going doo, 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 and they're like tooting all their horns, and people are raising up from the dead out of their caskets and partying and being like yeet, you know, like everyone's so excited. And that's the energy here with the blue whale. Maybe for some of you, the person that you're going to be with is an old friend that comes back into your life and they want to pursue something romantic. Maybe for some of you this is someone brand new, but it's going to be a past life relationship that comes back, and maybe you've had dreams about it. Maybe you've even said to yourself in the past, I'm going to be with someone who is from my past life. I just know that I'm going to be working on karma with someone in that way, right? Now, I feel like this is a soulmate relationship. I feel like this is someone who would follow you to the ends of the earth, someone who would move mountains for you. So make sure that you're clearing space in your heart as well for them. Because I feel like maybe those who pick this stack, you're going through a lot of responsibilities. Maybe you have a lot of things on your plate, especially around the time that you meet this person. You know, so make sure that you pace yourself. Now, with magnificence, I feel like that's their overall energy. People think that they're magnificent. People think that they are enchanting as well. You know that song where it's like, I was enchanted to meet you too. It's that sort of an energy going on where people just feel absolutely enchanted that they were able to meet your future partner, right? But I think it's also just because they are so mature and they do know what they want going forward. And that's not something that you find in a lot of people, you know, that they have mastered so many elements of themselves and they know what to do, how to take that next step, how to achieve that next level, right? And I feel like that's just something that you're really going to admire and appreciate as well. So, and also, do you see these arrows in the background? That makes me feel like full steam ahead. Let's get this bread. Let's keep going forward, right? They always know where to go. So maybe for some of you, they have a really good sense of direction too. I don't know why, but I had to add that in. So going on to your next two cards, these are your Secrets of the Mystic Grove cards, and these are talking about overall energies this person will be bringing into your marriage. So we have number 21, letting go, and number 15, seeking knowledge. Woohoo! So I love that we were just talking about letting go as well and clearing space in your heart. Now with the number 21, this would be the number 3. This is talking about coming in harmony with yourself. You know, maybe even coming in mastery with yourself, right? Weaving together the mind, the body, and the spirit so that way you can make a well-rounded decision. So that way you don't live in fear as well. I feel like with this partnership, you're going to be abandoning any kind of masks, any kind of preconceived notions that you might have had about yourselves, and finally, you know, really showing yourself to another person. It's this energy of, you know, don't hide yourself any longer. Really reveal all of your secrets and your truth as well. Now with letting go, it says release, farewell, and impermanence. Maybe for some of you, you also have to release exes. You have to let go of people that no longer serve you, right? And that's why we have impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Some people kind of come into our lives just for a certain time period, you know, maybe even for a cycle to teach us a wonderful lesson. Even if we might want them to come back a little bit longer because we love them, we can love them from afar, right? And maybe that's what your spirit guides really want you to know, is that this person is going to be coming into your life in a really wonderful way, maybe even in a whirlwind, and it's going to, maybe for some of you, kind of blindside you, and you're going to be like, is this even the person that I should be with? You know, like this happened out of nowhere, but you guys are going to have a really, really close spiritual connection and spiritual bond, and it's really going to put into perspective how unhealthy your past relationships might have been in comparison. You know, it's almost like seeing Frozen, right? And like Anna could be with Hans or she could be with Kristoff, and we all know the difference here. We can all see it, we can all sense it, right? But you kind of just have to experience it. You have to live through it before you can know. Other people could tell you all day, oh, you know, Jacob isn't right for you, you know, don't be with him, be with Mark instead. But until you actually go through it and you experience you know, Jacob's hardships and then the wonderful light that Mark brings into your life, you know, you really aren't going to listen to other people. You really aren't going to trust that. Now, for others of you with the number 21 letting go, I feel like make sure that you're releasing any kind of fears, worries, or doubts in regards to relationships. This is someone who is always going to hear you out. Again, they're incredibly understanding. They're compassionate. This is someone who wants to understand you. They want to make sure that you always feel heard as well. They will always be a captive audience. Do you see how this owl always is looking at this girl rather intentively, or at least is looking like he's listening, And this is someone who you could call at 4, 5, 6 in the morning and it wouldn't matter. They could be working the next day and they would still love to hear your voice. They would love to be there for you and be the shoulder for you to cry on. This is someone who would drive to your house in the middle of the night with French fries from McDonald's and a Frosty, right? And say, hey, I heard you're going through a hard time, so I brought you some comfort food. This is someone who just wants to make you feel very loved and very secure and warm and stable. Now, with number 15, seeking knowledge, do you see the difference right off the bat with number 21 letting go her hair, with number 15 seeking knowledge's hair? It's almost like she's bloomed, she's blossomed in this relationship, and that's very much the energy of both of you. Both of you are going to be stepping into your own power and feeling very comfortable, feeling like you can take on the world and feeling like the universe is yours, right? Now, with the number 15, this is talking about the number 6, and this is talking about abundance. Abundance in love, abundance in happiness, in friendship, in family, in wisdom and knowledge, right? I feel like the two of you are always going out and learning. You're always experiencing new situations and circumstances. Maybe the two of you love to travel. You love to experience new cultures. Maybe the two of you as well are learning new languages together. But regardless, know that you can learn anything. Maybe the two of you want to start going to dance classes or maybe even music classes. Maybe the two of you are going to take up a new instrument together. Know that anything is possible. There's actually a quote by one of our family friends, and he had said, people tend to give themselves a lot of slack for maybe learning a new language or learning a new instrument, when really in reality we could teach ourselves anything. All we need is the time. All we need is the intention as well. If we set aside 10 or 15 minutes every single night to learn a new skill, to learn a new practice or a new trade, there is nothing that we can't learn, right? And that's the difference between maybe adults and children, is that while children are still learning and they're growing and they're absorbing everything like a sponge at once, adults are still learning. They're still gradually searching and gaining that wisdom, but it's through maybe continuous acts, maybe continuously learning a language, continuously talking with it, maybe making pen pals as well. For some of you, maybe this is going to be a really long distance relationship where one of you lives in like maybe Mexico and maybe the other one lives in like Britain, and you guys have to learn how to get across cultural barriers, and maybe even language differences, right? So maybe one of you is going to learn the other language, and it's going to be a really wonderful time to get to know each other and get to experience one another's cultures. But again, there's nothing that the two of you can't learn together. Even if your partner is someone who is constantly growing and evolving and learning, and you're someone who feels a little bit like, well, maybe I'm a little bit too old to be learning these things, or, maybe I shouldn't be starting over. It's almost like it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to learn something brand new. So know that going forward. I don't know who needed to know that, but I wanted to add that into the message, overall, is that you can learn anything and you can grow a business. If you think about it, if you do just one Instagram post every single day on that homemade nail polish that you do, girl, in like 5 years, after like a few hundred posts on Instagram, so many people are going to know about your product. So many people are going to be using that nail polish. It's only a matter of time. Intention goes a long way, right? So make sure that you are constantly putting yourself out there and, putting energy towards the things that you want to come to fruition. Now, with seeking knowledge, maybe the two of you are going to be going to museums a lot. Maybe the two of you are going to, again, maybe just be traveling. But there is this energy of the two of you being spiritually connected. And that's another way that the two of you are really going to grow and evolve. And maybe even understand one another's love languages. I feel like that might be a barrier for some of you in the future, is learning what your partner's love language is. But I feel like it's very similar to your own. I feel like the both of you love to feel very comfortable. The two of you love to feel very secure. secure and wanted, and maybe even reassured. Maybe the two of you need a lot of reassurance going forward in the relationship. So going on to your next 5 cards, these are your angels and ancestors cards, and these are talking about overall words of wisdom and advice to bring this marriage in a lot faster. So we have Father Sky, trust in the unknown, trust that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to and in divine timing. I also heard and in divine order. Even though it might not feel like things are going the way that they are supposed to be or the way that they're planned to, they're definitely going in the way that they have to. So with Mother Earth, it says feel loved and comforted. You are someone who is being guided right now. Also with Mother Earth, I see her with this beautiful pregnant belly, and I see this as someone who is a master manifester. I see this as someone who is birthing a new reality into existence. You know, maybe you're someone who is literally an entrepreneur and you're creating this brand new invention or this brand new product. Again, maybe for some of you it's a homemade nail polish. Maybe for others of you it's a shampoo. But there's something that you do that maybe you could start making money off of your hobbies and off of the things that really make you shine bright, right? Make you feel very at home, make you feel very much in that fun energy. Now with Mother Earth as well, this is also talking about make sure that you are spending time in nature going forward. Fresh air is very, very important, especially in summertime. In the summertime when the weather is hot. But we have bee energy, woohoo! So with bees, we think of cooperation, we think of teamwork, we think of working together to achieve a common goal as well. Maybe even going out with your friends to parties, to reunions, to weddings, to baby showers. You know, just immersing yourself in meetups and groups, and you know, maybe even joining some new classes, maybe joining some workshops, really putting yourself out there and basking in the energy of just having fun is going to be very important in meeting your future partner. Now we also have bask in joy and light. Now this is saying make sure that you're having a lot of fun, make sure that you stay in the energy of abundance as opposed to lack, make sure that you stay in that energy of you are reaping the sweetest rewards and the sweetest kind of benefits going forward, right? So we also have summer, so it makes me feel like maybe some of you are going to be meeting your future partner in summertime. Maybe some of you are going to be getting married in the summertime, maybe a summertime wedding. Maybe some of you are also going to be getting engaged to in summertime. But regardless, ooh, it could also be that some of you have a birthday in summer or your future partner's birthday is in summer. So they could be a Leo, they could have, I really do feel like maybe they have a lot of fire in their chart just because they are someone who is incredibly passionate and very straightforward. Now we also have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Now the interesting thing is that right before spring with Water Guardian, it's saying make sure that you not only water your emotions, but water your intentions as well. Because with spring, it says see your seeds grow. When you're watering your seeds, you're going to start seeing them germinate. You're going to start seeing them come to fruition. And that's when you're going to be able to reap your harvest and gain those really sweet, sweet results, right? Now with Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. It's also saying make sure that you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable with this person. Drop your shields, drop your guards, and drop your defenses, right? This is someone who means very, very well. And I feel like you're someone who is a very good judge of character. Make sure that you're trusting your instinct and trusting your gut going forward with this purple energy. You know, you are someone who can trust that inner intuition and that inner knowing that will guide you in the right direction. Now I also want to talk about the fact that we do have a rabbit. When I think of rabbits, I think of good fortune, I think of abundance, and I think of, you know, happy families. Maybe the two of you are going to have, you know, maybe a lot of children. Maybe the two of you are going to have literally a bunch of show rabbits that you maybe you kind of cultivate their fur and you sell their wool. But regardless, there's going to be a lot of business endeavors that the two of you go on, and I feel like you guys are going to have a very stable, happy home life at the same time. So going on to your next card, this is your animal totem card, and this is talking about if we could sum up the person that you're going to marry in one card, who would they be? So we have the Page of Swords. Okay, I love that both the rabbit in spring and both the road runner are running forward so excitedly, right? This is someone who, again, is very spontaneous. This is someone who doesn't like to stay stagnant. They don't like to feel like they are stuck or that they are being held back. They like to be in that Shawn Mendes energy. There's nothing holding me back. Right now, this is someone who loves to text you. I feel like when you start talking, as opposed to calling you on Skype, as opposed to FaceTiming you, or maybe just regular calling you, this is someone who wants to text you. This is someone who wants to email you as well. They're going to maybe even give you a few multiple responses at once, like, hey, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. And they'll just keep adding on to it. And they don't mean to send as many texts as they do, but I feel like suddenly they think to themselves, well, I could have said something better. I could have added in a little bit more there, right? But this is someone who might even be a little bit awkward, a little bit nervous, maybe even a little bit anxious from time to time. Roadrunner energy is very scattered. And even though it's very happy-go-lucky and it's very generous with the way that they interact with people, I feel like this is someone who is incredibly friendly. This is someone who has a great head on their shoulders and it has a great sense of humor, but at the same time, if they feel a little bit uncomfortable, they're going to get out of there. They're going to bolt, right? This is someone who doesn't like to be involved in drama. This is someone who doesn't like to be involved in, maybe even big like family arguments. This is someone who would just rather excuse themselves and be like, I'll be back later, Uncle Jeremy. Don't worry about it. I'll see you later. You guys can figure this out on your own. This is someone who might be very non-confrontational. Even though they can stand up for themselves, they don't want to. They don't want to have to deal with that noise. So this is someone who would rather be living their own existence, having fun, going towards their happiness, pursuing their dreams, and maybe looking at things with rose-colored glasses, to be completely honest. I know I said earlier that, this isn't the type of person to do that, but maybe from time to time it's easier for them to do that. Maybe it's easier for them to look at things like, well, everything's not so bad, right? Even though everything around them is kind of crumbling, or everything's burning down, they're like, yeah, this is great. This is a fine energy. This is a fine day, right? So going on to your next few cards, these are your Journey to Marriage cards. And to preface these, I do want to say that you have the most cards out of any of the other stacks. And I just feel like that's because there are a few more lessons that maybe you have to learn before this person comes into your life. Now, what I did was I drew until I received a marriage card, or a card that indicated it. Now, what I kind of set as my intentions were the Four of Wands, the Hierophant, or two matching suits. So a king and a queen of, the same suit, like, a king and a queen of cups, or a king and a queen of wands, or a king and a queen of pentacles. So that's what we wanted. So going forward, your journey to marriage, we have the Nine of Wands, followed by the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands, the 9 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords. Let me just move everything up a little bit. The 8 of Wands, the Temperance card, and then finally the King and Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so how beautiful is that? Right off the bat, I love all of the really vibrant colors. I feel like the two of you are really going to be evolving and growing in your own time. Something that I do want to touch on before we get into the rest of the messages is the fact that we do have this apple tree at the bottom. Now, for those of you that have cultivated apple trees before, you will know that it takes about 5 years to get your first fruit, to get your first apple, right? So it's a lot of time of just love and care and attention to these plants, in hopes and in prayers and just kind of blind trust that they're going to provide these fruits and that you're going to have this harvest, right? And finally, at long last, one day you have this beautiful fruit to show for it. And that's very much the energy of this relationship. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't worry about if your friend Shannon is getting married. Don't worry about if Dave is just getting engaged, and they're gonna get eloped in a week. Don't worry about that. What matters is your own journey and your own progression. And if you're going to have a very slow and steady romance and a very meticulous romance, hey, all the better, right? Because it's very much saying you're going to have all those details down. You're going to have everything figured out, and everything is going to be just the way that it's supposed to when this person comes into your life. So right off the bat, we have the Nine of Wands. Now, this is talking about perseverance. This is talking about feeling very good. You've been through a lot of trials and tribulations. You've had a lot of mountains that you've had to climb, but you have overcome them every single time. There's actually a quote that I really love, and it's like, you have survived 100% of your toughest days. And that is the energy of the Nine of Wands. You are someone who has persevered. You are someone who has continued forward, even when it has seemed really, really tough to do so. And that actually brings us on to the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Now, some people might be saying, well, Darling D, those two might be kind of signifying unity cards. And yes, I completely agree with that. But at the same time, I feel like it's a different message for those that pick this deck. I feel like your journey is to really appreciate all the abundances that you have brought into your life, not that another person is bringing into your life or that will bring into your life. This is all the abundances that you're bringing in. This is appreciating your singleness. This is appreciating all of the things that make you you, the things that make you vibrant and maybe even elusive, right? I feel like a lot of people look at you with just hearts in their eyes and stars in their eyes because you are someone who is absolutely phenomenal. Regardless of if you acknowledge this or not, you are, right? And a lot of people really are inspired by you. They really look up to you. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles, this is saying get focused on your money, get focused on your endeavors, and really get your finances in order, because then you don't have to focus on that as much when this person does come into your life, right? And that will lead you to the Ten of Cups. You're not going to have as many stresses. You're going to feel very happy, very emotionally content going forward. This is also talking about having a self-care routine. Make sure that you are giving yourself enough love. When I see these ravens at the bottom, imagine if there was just sort of a mirror here. Make sure that you are telling yourself, I am someone who is absolutely beautiful. I am someone who is worthy of love and someone who is attracting in a very conductive love going forward, right? And that's when we have the Page of Pentacles. This is when you are going to start having an offer coming in. Honestly, I think that that's why we have these two cards, because it's like once you're in this energy of abundance as opposed to lack, as opposed to, well, I could have this, I could have that, that's when someone is going to finally step forward and say, hey, Miranda, you want to go out sometime, right? And it's going to be such a wonderful energy. It's going to be so exciting, right? Especially with the Six of Wands. This is talking about victories, feeling absolutely victorious. This also might be you having a lot of suitors going forward. Maybe you're going to have to kind of beat them away with sticks, right? Because there's so many people that are going to be coming towards you because you're elevated. You're someone who is finally getting that recognition that you deserve because you are shining. You are allowing yourself to really radiate all of these very healthy energies. And that's something that a lot of people are going to recognize. I promise you, right? You're going to have a lot of suitors. Now, with this card as well, I feel like your friends and family members are also going to be rallying around you. This is a wonderful time to be going out with them, to be going to meetups, to be going to seminars and workshops, maybe even conventions with them, right? This is a good time to pursue your hobbies and your passions. Now, again, with the Nine of Pentacles, this is you being the master of your own destiny, being the master of your finances, making your own job and making your own career. And I honestly feel like this is your future partner admiring you, admiring the fact that you are someone who can stand on their own and stand in their own power. And I feel like you're someone who has overcome so many hardships, especially with these lotuses at the bottom. You're someone who has risen up through the darkness and through the trials, and you're someone who has overcome them. Again, you have overcome 100% of your toughest days, but that leads us to the Four of Cups. So again, you're going to have a lot of suitors. A lot of people are going to be noticing you, but you're not going to be accepting all of them. You're going to be like, sorry, Franklin, can't go out with you. I'm going to be going out with maybe Dave around the block. I'm going to be hanging out with him for a little bit. If I don't like him, then maybe I'll hang out with Joey. If I don't like Joey, then maybe I'll hang out with Tom. We'll see. But regardless, you definitely do have options. You definitely do have, I don't want to say backup plans, but I feel like that's the energy you're going to be in. You're just kind of putting yourself out there and seeing who it is that you meet. And I feel like you're going to be dating, you're going to be meeting new people, maybe even meeting new acquaintances, and then that's when you're going to meet this person that literally is your divine counterpart, right? And this doesn't have to actually even be twin flame, although it very well could be with the fact that we have a King of Pentacles and a Queen of Pentacles. But regardless, I feel like this is someone who just very much mirrors your energy. It's almost like that Justin Timberlake song, "It's like you're my mirror staring back at me," right? But we have the Five of Pentacles, so maybe when you finally do accept your cup of love from this person, you know, after denying all of these other cups of love, other people are going to feel a little bit shut out in the cold. They're going to be feeling like, what the heck? What? Jessica literally said no to all of us, but now she's with Timothy. Can you believe this? Can you even believe that she did this to us, right? So it's that sort of an energy. But you don't mind. Honey Badger don't care, because we have the Six of Swords. This is someone who is continuing forward. They are moving past the drama. They're moving past any kind of energy that no longer serves them, right? And they're going towards calmer waters. They're going towards something that is going to be a lot healthier. Look at that. We have two movement cards, two literal travel cards. So some of you might actually be traveling. Some of you might also be moving, maybe even moving house. Maybe that's even why we have the Page of Pentacles. Maybe you're starting over a brand new career. Maybe some of you are literally moving to a new city, to a new town, to a new state, to a new country. And that's something that is going to help align you to meeting this person as well, is that movement, right? So make sure that you keep moving forward. Just keep swimming, right? It's very much that energy. Now with the Eight of Wands, this is very straightforward. This is knowing what it is that you want and then going towards it. You know, pursuing the things that you really want to bring to fruition, pursuing the things that you've been working with the universe for, using the law of attraction, right? Now, that's also why we have the Temperance card. It's almost like your angels are saying, thank you for being so patient and thank you for your continued patience. It's going to take a little bit longer, but don't worry. We're working in the background to make sure that you two come together. If we were to imagine that this is your partner and this is you, and they are mixing together your cups so that the two of you can come together in a very balanced way, in a way that neither one of you is going to be more elevated than the other, in a way that neither one of you is going to be more stubborn or more bossy than the other as well. Because let me tell you, with both of these suits, with both of these pentacles, I really do feel like both of you are going to be a very bossy couple, and I mean that in the best way, right? Both of you know what you want. Both of you are not going to stand for injustices and stand for people kind of pulling the wool over your eyes, right? You're both very mature, you're both very methodical, and both very philosophical. I feel like the both of you can get very, very deep and very understanding. And that's why your spirit guides and your ancestors and your angels are very much saying, like, this person is worth the wait. They are worth, you know, waiting maybe even another year for, maybe 2 years for, maybe even 5 years since we have apples. But regardless, I don't think it's going to be that long for the majority of you, but I do want to say that this person is definitely worth waiting for. So with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, I really do feel like the two of you are going to be an energetic match. It's almost going to be like you guys complete one another at the end of the day. And almost like when the two of you are off doing your own thing and being very independent, you don't have to worry about one another. Maybe that's even why we had the release card, because it's talking about you no longer have to worry this person is straying from you. You don't have to worry about, you know, maybe they're not working, maybe they're doing something else, because you do have a very strong connection with them. You do trust this person very, very deeply, and they trust you deeply as well. This is very much a relationship that's based on 50-50 and reciprocity, right? They want to make sure that everything is even and equal with you. Again, maybe that's even why we had the number 2 showing up in their characteristics, qualities, and traits with Blue Whale, because this is someone who is very much in their fairness. This is someone who is into equality. They might even have Libra somewhere in their charts. Maybe even they have Libra as their Venus or Mercury. Maybe that's a lot of their love languages. They love to have things be very equal and very fair and very give and take, right? Now, with the King and Queen of Pentacles, they're very, very slow moving. I'd say this is the slowest moving suit. They're very meticulous and they take their time. So this is going to be a very slow burning relationship and romance. But the slow burning relationships are often the best relationships, right? Now, we also, do you see how we have this rabbit down here and it's in the same position as the rabbit in spring? Look at that, right? So I very much feel like maybe you're going to meet your partner in spring. Maybe this is saying as soon as you're taking action and literally springing into your dreams, that's when this person is going to show up. But regardless, the world is your oyster, so make sure that you're putting yourself out there and achieving your goals. So going on to your Enchanted Tarot cards, these are going to be your closing messages before we get into your Tea Leaf Tarot cards. So we have the High Priestess, the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles again. Oh my goodness, the Judgment card. I was just talking about that earlier with the Hermit and the King of Wands. Woohoo! Okay, so with the High Priestess, again, the number 2, make sure that you're being balanced. Make sure that you're balancing your Divine Feminine and your Divine Masculine going forward, right? Because that's really going to help you with making decisions and with balancing what to do and where to go next. Now, with the High Priestess as well, this is trusting your intuition, trusting that you have all of the resources that you need, and trusting that you are someone who is incredibly intelligent. You know, you are someone who is extremely capable and someone who can take on the world, right? Especially with the Seven of Pentacles. What you reap is what you sow. Whatever you put in is whatever you're going to get out as well. So make sure that you're really putting in the effort at work, that you're also putting in the effort with your friends and family and with your loved one, right? Don't be scared about putting in the effort with this person. This is someone who is also going to be very generous to you. They want to give to you. They want to provide for you. They want to make you feel uplifted and happy. So make sure that you're dropping your guards and just working towards this common goal with them, right? Make sure that you're very open to this person too about what it is that you want to achieve in regards to this relationship. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles, again, it's saying enjoy your singleness while it lasts, because it's not going to last forever. You know, think of it this way. Maybe if you only have 5 years left that are single, and the rest of your lifespan, let's say you're in your 60s, right? And you still have, let's say, 30 or 40 years that are going to be completely married. You know, that's a long time to be married. That is a long, beautiful, happy relationship. That's a beautiful duration. So in the grand scheme of things, you know that everything is going to balance out and everything's going to make sense in the end. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth the wait. So keep enjoying the fruits of your labor. Keep enjoying, your abundances and the fact that you are someone who is constantly bringing more money and more abundance into your life. Now, with number 20, Judgment. Okay, before I get on to Judgment, again, that's going to bring in a lot of these suitors as well, is being confident in yourself and knowing that this person is right around the corner, knowing that they could show up any day, but you're someone who is very comfortable with where you are and happy with your endeavors, right? Now, with number 20, Judgment, this is, again, the number 2. Oh my goodness, I love it. Your angels are definitely coming through with that number 2 unity vibe and saying, you're going to have a partnership. Don't worry. It's almost like that song, Don't Worry, You Will, right? Now with Judgment, this is very much talking about rebirth, new opportunities for rejuvenation and purification as well. Maybe you came back to Earth, kind of not to focus more on love. Maybe you're excited about getting to that, but your main goal was to focus on your own achievements, on your own abundances, on your own career, and what you could achieve on your own before you got into a partnership, right? And even though that's not necessarily what we want to hear in regards to a love reading, there's kind of a sweetness to it at the same time that we can provide for our partner, that we can bring to the table such a wonderful element and such a kind of self-reliant energy, right? Especially with the Hermit. This is someone who lights their own path. This is someone who makes their own map at the same time. They use their intuition and they trust that they are guided in the right way. Now, with the Hermit card as well, don't worry that you're on this path alone. The people that are supposed to be in your life are either going to be following you or they are going to be already waiting for you at your destination. Do not worry. The right people are going to be there. Always, always, always trust in that, right? Now, we also have the King of Wands, so make sure that you are focusing on your passions, on your hobbies, on your talents, on the things that you just really love to do. Again, the things that light that fire underneath you and make you excited for every new day, right? Because every day is a brand new, fresh start. Now, with the King of Wands as well, this is being very mature, traveling, putting yourself out there, being vivacious, being excitable, being dedicated to your dreams and ambitions, right? So make sure that you are always giving 110% to your passions, to the things that make you excited. Make sure that you are having days where maybe you just watch Netflix. Maybe you have days where you literally just cuddle up in bed and you eat snacks and you watch YouTube all day, right? But make sure that you're having that self-care day and that self-care routine. That's extremely important important. So going on to your next few cards, these are your tea leaf tarot cards, and these are talking about the overall kind of energies that you will be experiencing before you get to marriage. So we have Tower, a solid foundation and success with effort. There we go. Get to your solid foundation first, put in the success with the Seven of Pentacles. What you reap is what you sow. You're going to be having a lot of abundance and a lot of happiness. Now we also have Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. And maybe that's even where your friends and family come in. Maybe they're going to offer you some help. Maybe this future partner is going to come in and offer you some help, some advice, or some guidance. But regardless, we have Candle, you will be shown the way. Oh my goodness, I love that. It's almost like you're saying, I don't know where to go next. And your spirit guides are saying, but we will show you the way. You actually do know where to go, right? You are someone who has that clarity. Now with Valley, oh my goodness, it kind of looks like the Judgment card. Doesn't that look like Valley? Oh my goodness, especially with all the mountains in the background. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. So again, you are someone who is definitely assured success. You're assured these good times. So keep persevering, keep pushing yourself to the next level. We also have Bear, danger, especially in money matters. So again, focus on your money, focus on your finances and on your career, because it's really going to help you bring you out of these bad circumstances. Boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. So for some of you, maybe you're going to have an inheritance, maybe someone's going to be leaving you something, but at the same time, I feel like it's also going to be, you know how we have, I think it was Candle, was it Candle, where it's like you will be shown the way, and Valley, personal success. We have a lot of cards that are just talking about success with effort, solid foundation. I feel like it's going to be your own work. It's going to be your own intention that really pays off in the end, right? It's because you never give up. It's because you keep persevering and keep pushing yourself to the next level. You're very resilient, right? We have Fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. So again, you're going to be feeling a lot of strong emotions throughout this journey. And I also feel like towards your future partner, I feel like this is someone who really lights that fire underneath you, and they really get you feeling emotions that maybe you've never felt before. It's almost like that Mariah Carey song where it's like, you've got me feeling emotions deeper than I've ever dreamed of. Oh, you, right? But with Axe, it says forces are working against you. So it could be that, it could be people, it could be that there's just some blockages in the road or blockages on the way, but these are just temporary problems, right? Because that's when we have Carrot, opportunity or windfall. I feel like you're going to have a lot of opportunities. You're going to have a lot of kind of new doors opening, if that makes sense, and in the month of February. So it could be that some of you have your birthday in February, maybe you meet your future partner in February, maybe that's even when you're going to have a lot of abundances is February, but regardless, I feel like that's going to be a very important month. We also have older man, dealings or relationship with an older man. Maybe for some of you, a father or grandfather figure is going to help you in regards to finances. For others of you, maybe an older man is just going to be coming into your life in regards to maybe a career opportunity. Maybe they're going to offer you a job. Maybe even in regards to older man, maybe your partner is going to be older and maybe even a little bit more in their masculine energy when you meet them, even though they are very balanced. Now we do have March. Oh my goodness. Okay, so maybe look at that. February right into March. It could be that maybe you guys meet in February and you start dating in March. Maybe you start a job in February and then by March everything is sorted out and you're back on track in regards to money, right? But we do have Cup. You should accept valid criticism. Allow people to really tell you what they think and kind of give you advice, right? Allow yourself to stay very open-minded, especially if it's something that you don't necessarily want to hear. Just like this reading, a lot of people don't want to come to a love reading and hear, well, you're going to have a lot more work ahead of you before you meet the future partner, but to be honest, it's also nice because it's saying you have a lot to look forward to. You have a lot of abundances that are coming your way. Now with Dog close up, it says pleasure with a close friend. Maybe even this close friend is going to come forward and kind of give you kind of constructive criticism going forward, right? And maybe even how to handle a situation. Now we also have Rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. Finally! Woohoo! Again, those problems were only temporary. It was only a little bit of a situation, right? But regardless, all the difficult kind of energies are over now. You know, everything going forward is good luck, it's happiness, it's abundance, sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything is wonderful. Well, I don't know the rest of these lyrics. Now we also have I, psychic ability, trust in your intuition. So again, trust in your intuition. Always, always know that you are someone who is incredibly psychic and incredibly spiritual. You are always receiving the correct message. Now we have Rose, romance is in the air. Whoop, whoop. So you're definitely going to be romanced. You're going to be wined and dined. You're going to be appreciated and cared for, right? So for your last card, I love it because you got the marriage card. Oh my goodness. That is a wonderful way to wrap it up. It's saying marriage is assured. Don't worry. Rest easy, lovelies. You are definitely going to get married. I promise you. But there's just a lot more things that you have to kind of cover before you get into a marriage first. It's almost like, let's get the hard work out of the way now, so then that way we can reap our rewards and we can just go into this marriage being happy and not having to worry about any of those stresses or having to worry about things that might potentially weigh us down going forward, right? Oh my goodness, that was such an awesome pile. I definitely feel like the more you pursue your own goals and your own ambitions, the faster this person is going to come into your life. Thank you so much for watching this video, though. I had so much fun reading for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a like down below and a comment as well, as I love hearing from you guys. It makes my day every day. Also, make sure to hit subscribe and also the notification bell if you have not already, to be notified every time that I post a brand new reading. But yeah, I hope that you will also check out my website, DarlingDTarot.com, for 10% off all of my readings. We are having a grand opening sale for having a brand new website, so I'm so excited for you guys to see it. So definitely check that out and maybe get a personal reading with me, right? Also, I have my Etsy in the description box down below and all of my other links. So yeah, I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 2. Let's get right into your reading and see what will your journey to marriage look like. So right off the bat, I want to talk about the fact that you chose the cat pendant. Woohoo! So I feel like your person that you will be marrying is someone who is incredibly independent. They're very spiritual and intuitive. They always trust their gut instinct, and that's what they want you to be doing at the same time as well. Make sure that as you progress forward, you keep trusting your intuition and keep trusting that you are receiving the right messages going forward. You are someone who is incredibly intelligent, very intellectual, and well-read. You are someone who inspires a lot of people, and you are someone who has a lot of rare knowledge. Now, whether that be about certain crafts or whether that just be about certain topics, I feel like you're someone who is incredibly knowledgeable, and you're someone who can uplift and inspire a lot of people. So going forward, you know, just make sure that you're always in that intuitive energy and always, always, always trusting yourself. So going on to your first 3 cards, these are your animal language cards, and these are talking about characteristics, qualities, and traits of the person that you will be marrying. So we have number 32, a golden orb spider, number 19, air, and number 37, wood. Oh my goodness, so right off the bat, I love that we have 2 cards that are representing elements. This is someone who is very well matured and someone who has definitely been through their fair share of trials and tribulations to, you know what they need to work on and know what they want to aspire to get in their life. You know, this is someone who has a lot of goals. They have a lot of dreams and ambitions, and this is someone who is going to achieve all of them. Now, the funny thing is that we have number 19, which would be 10, and we also have 37, which would be 10. So this is someone who has been through a lot of endings of cycles and maybe a lot of abrupt changes. This is someone who maybe for a long time was scared by change because of the fact that it was always something that was very abrupt and something that was, you know, maybe it hurt them. Maybe it disappointed them as well, considering we have number 32 over here, which is 5. Again, another card that's talking about change, transformation, and evolution. This is someone who has been through a lot of growth, but it has made them a better person. This is someone who continues to evolve every single day and push themselves to be a better person. And I feel like this is someone who, if you came to them and said, hey, John, I really would appreciate if maybe you texted me a little bit more throughout the day, they would definitely do that. They would make sure that they took a step back and like texted you that picture of the store stork that they saw outside a few hours earlier, you know? Like, this is someone who is always going to make sure that you feel very well loved and you feel very supported at the same time. This is someone who wants to support you, especially with wood here, with support. This is someone who wants to take care of you. This is someone who wants a solid foundation with you, right? So right off the bat, this is someone who can definitely change with you. They can continue to grow with you along the way as well. That's something that is going to be very inspirational in your marriage, is that nothing is going to get either of you down. Both of you are going to be excited about going to that next level and seeing what comes next, right? It's like the next big adventure, and it's something that is just so conductive and healthy, and maybe it's unlike anything that the two of you have ever experienced before. And maybe that's why we have so many closings of the cycles. They're finally like, look, I'm closing out everything that doesn't serve me. I'm going on to things that finally do, and I'm ready to welcome in my partner for life. I'm ready to welcome in my best friend and my partner in crime. This is someone who is incredibly loyal, right? But this is someone as well who loves to travel. They love to be spontaneous. They love to be adventurous. With the air here, it says thought, alignment, breath, and intention. I feel like they love to just kind of sit and daydream. This is someone who has a very kind of whimsical energy, if you will, very childlike, very spontaneous and excitable. This is someone who loves to have a good time. They love to have fun, especially with all of the yellows in the background. You see all this yellow and orange imagery, almost like the sun shining through? This is someone who is incredibly bright. They're vivacious. They're bubbly. They are the center of attention. They're the life of the party, even when they don't necessarily want to be, right? This is someone who might even make jokes so that it pulls away any unwanted attention from other people. So let's say like Miranda farted in the middle of a crowd and she's like super embarrassed because she didn't mean to fart, right? So your future partner would start making fake fart noises and be like, oops, that was me, sorry. You know, like they would take the joke, they would take the brunt of the embarrassment for another person. They're very compassionate, they're very understanding, but I think that they do it in such a way that they're still a goofball and they're still very, very understanding. They're a very good mediator. They're very, very compassionate going forward, very loving. They could have a lot of air in their chart, so this could be Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. They don't have to, but it would make them an incredible communicator. I feel like this is someone who loves to have very deep conversations, very intellectual conversations as well, if you will. This is someone who can get very philosophical, and you know, they don't just have to have those surface level debates, you know, where they're just sort of like, oh, how's the weather, how's life, you know, and then it just kind of dies down. This is someone who wants to talk about the great mysteries of the world. This is someone who wants to talk about maybe true crime cases and what your opinions are on them. They want to get very deep in thought with you. Now with alignment and breath, this is someone who has learned to breathe through things. Maybe they have a little bit of anxiety, maybe they tend to get a little bit scatterbrained, or it's almost like with a web, you know, they have so many things going on at once. This is someone who is constantly taking on new opportunities and taking on new adventures, and maybe they constantly have irons in the fire, so they have to be able to align themselves and center themselves, because it's easy for this person to become overwhelmed and feel very frazzled because it's like their energy is scattered everywhere, right? So they've really had to learn how to work with yoga breaths, how to really work with maybe even their anxiety as well. But with intention, I feel like they have a lot of intentions, and I feel like that's also something as well with you. Maybe that's going to be very important. Maybe you are someone who in the past has had relationships where they haven't shown their intentions, right? And that's something you're really going to love about this person, is that they are going to have those heart-to-heart conversations with you, and they are going to tell you like, look, I'm looking for marriage. Maybe that's something that they say even right off the bat as soon as you guys start dating. I was gonna say start marriaging. Basically, that's how this person sees courtship. They see it as just we're either going to get married or we're going to break up, and that's literally it, right? So that's the energy that this person brings to the table. It might even shock you a little bit that someone is so upfront and so forward about what they want going forward in terms of a relationship, because sometimes people can shy away. Sometimes people can feel a little bit embarrassed or a little bit nervous or a little bit silly talking to the person that they really like and admire, you know, about what it is that they want in regards to a relationship. But this is someone who doesn't mind doing that. This is someone who doesn't mind being a little bit uncomfortable for the greater good, right? And that's something you're really going to appreciate about them. Now, With wood, it says growth, connection, support, and renewal. So again, this is someone who is going to grow with you. It's almost like in The Wedding Singer where Adam Sandler is literally singing like, I want to grow old with you. That's literally this person, right? But you guys are going to have a really awesome connection that's going to withstand the test of time. It's not ever going to waver. If anything, it's only going to get better with time. And with support, this is someone who's literally going to support you. You know, this is someone who is going to support your goals, support your dreams and your ambitions. This is someone who wants to uplift you to the next level. They want to take care of you. Maybe this is someone who is even okay with helping out with bills. They want to be very 50-50. They want to move in and help out with household chores. They want to just help where they can. They want to take care of you and they want to support you. With renewal, this is someone, again, who doesn't mind closing out a chapter or closing out a cycle that no longer fulfills them so that they can have that renewal and that purification going forward. I feel like it's incredibly important to them to be able to start over brand new and to be able to have a blank slate. So with number 32, Golden Orb Spider, when I see spiders in a reading, I see it as someone who is incredibly intellectual. I see it as someone who has read a book or two. You know, they definitely keep up on current events at the same time. This is someone who's very, very knowledgeable. So you could ask about anything and they would probably have a fun fact. They'd probably have some trivia facts, which honestly, they might have some Gemini in their charts. I feel like this is someone who just loves to learn. They love to learn about everything and anything under the sun, right? Now with Golden Orb Spider, I feel like maybe this future partner is someone who is a writer, someone who is incredibly imaginative, and someone who can weave a tale, and not in a bad way, right? This is the type of person that you want near the campfire when you all are out in like Rocky Mountain National Park and you're camping for the weekend, because they can tell the greatest tales. You know, this was someone who, you know, maybe in their past life they were Mary Shelley or something, they wrote Frankenstein, but you know, it's that sort of a good tale where you're like, whoa, you should write that down and make that a book, my friend, you know? But they have really good stories. I feel like they could even be children's book authors, maybe even writers of novellas. But regardless, this is someone who is constantly pushing themselves in different directions. I keep hearing a jack of all trades. And even though the whole quote is a jack of all trades, but a master of none, it then goes on to, but it's better to be a master of none than to be a master of one. And I feel like that is so, so true for this person, that they're very good at everything that they do. Now, that's not to say that they're perfect at everything they do, because I think that would be a little bit unrealistic. I don't think anyone's perfect at everything they do, right? But I definitely feel like this person strives to be better every single day, no matter what it is that they're doing. I feel like they're very crafty, they're very resourceful. This is someone who probably does DIYs. They're probably looking at their Pinterest right now as you're watching this video, saving crafts into files, you know, and looking around their house and saying, what do I need in here, right? This is someone who is an interior decorator. Maybe they save a lot of knickknacks. They're very, very sensitive and sentimental. I feel like this is someone who is a hopeless romantic at heart, and they're going to remember all of those small little dates. And maybe that's even why we have intention here, because that's how they're going to show their intention, is by remembering these dates, by remembering your birthday, by taking you out, by maybe even dressing you up real nice, buying you clothes. This is someone who just wants to take care of you, right? We also have messenger, balance, awareness, and design. So again, this is someone who is incredibly balanced. This is someone who is balanced in themselves. In this card, we have blue up here and red towards the bottom. So it's kind of talking about a balance between taking action and being very headstrong and being very much in their emotions and being very connected to their heart energy, right? With messenger, I feel like this is someone who is incredibly intuitive. They could even be psychic. Maybe this is someone who works with divination tools. They could work with tarot cards, with pendulums, with tea leaves. But regardless, I feel like they're always receiving synchronicities at the same time. This might be the type of person who receives messages through 444 and even 222. It might even be very, very important to this person. We also have awareness. I feel like this is someone who always raises awareness for the things that they're very, very, they feel very strongly about, right? So maybe they have someone in their family that suffers from a chronic illness, you know, or maybe even overcome a chronic illness or a disease in the past. And with that sort of an energy, they raise awareness every single day, everywhere they go. Maybe this is someone who runs the marathons to raise awareness for breast cancer. Maybe this is someone who literally will do fundraisers online for local ASPCAs. Maybe this is someone who just loves to volunteer their time at children's hospitals. This is someone who just likes to put themselves out there and loves to be aware of what's going on in their community. You know, not just the world, but also their community close to home. This is someone who loves to donate. This is someone who loves to be very generous and thinks beyond themselves. And that's another thing you're really going to appreciate about this person, is just how selfless they are, right? So with design, I feel like for some of you, maybe this person works in graphic design. Maybe they work in video game design, graphic design as in novels, comic books. Maybe they are a sketch artist. Maybe they do online commissions for art. Maybe they do local commissions and trade shows. But regardless, this is someone who is incredibly crafty. They're very meticulous with what they do. And I feel like they love having a finished product to look at the end of the day. If this is an artist, this is the type of person who is going to spend 8, 9, 10 hours on a piece. And then at the end of that day, when their hand is really, really aching, they're going to sit back in their chair and just go, you know, because their piece is finally done. It's all come together, right? And everything has come together in the grand scheme of things. And I think that that's this person's energy, is that they're very meticulous. They like everything to fall right into place. So I think that that's why as well, those that pick this third pile, you had the middle amount between the first deck and the second deck, or I mean the third deck, on how many cards you have between you right now and you finding marriage in the future, right? So going on to your next two cards, these are going to be your Secrets of the Mystic Grove cards, and these are talking about energies this person is going to be bringing into your life in regards to this marriage. So we have number 22, beauty, there we go, number 22, that's confirmation this person could be seeing 22, or with that being the number 4, they could be seeing a lot of 4s. You might even have a lot of those synchronicities when this person is about to come into your life or when this person is about to propose to you. So remember to keep that in mind. You are definitely on the right track when you see 222 or 444. So we also have number 7, trust. Okay, so right off the bat, I love that we have, oh my goodness, look, it says intentions right here. Okay, I love that we have 2 cards that are talking about intentions. That's definitely a big deal, that this partner, you know, kind of express themselves, and this partner shows you that you can trust them and that you can rely on them, right? With number 7, trust, I feel like that's something that maybe lacked in past relationships. Maybe you felt like the people you were with were so different from you, which is why we have 2 tigers here. At last, my tiger has come along. That's very much the energy that we have here, and everyone else was like this lady, this owl, there's flowers, and they're like, I don't really mix with any of these other things. I need another tiger. They finally found you, and they are happy, and they want you to feel happy. They want you to feel content. They want you to feel like this tiger, where you can sit over here on the sidelines where while they're actually getting berries from this woman, and you're not worried about it. You're not worried about them taking like her entire arm off, you know, and just eating like her arm. You know, you're someone who's very relaxed. You're like, yeah, Leonard is over there collecting berries from Deborah. That's fine. That's fine, you know? But this is someone that you can definitely trust going forward, and someone that you can very much rely on. But we have overcoming fear, intentions again, and having faith. So have faith that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to, and that this person is always going to provide for you. You know, they're always going to make sure that you're well loved, well taken care for, and really appreciate you, right? Now, with overcoming fear, I feel like that's the main theme of this relationship as well, and this marriage, is that the two of you don't have to be afraid anymore. The two of you can feel very safe in one another's arms and in one another's company. So with number 22, beauty, this is the number 4 if we were to add these 2 up, and this is talking about foundations, solid foundations, even marriage, right? If we're to think about the 4 posts in the ground, that would even be 1111. Maybe for some of you that is kind of a confirmation. If you've been seeing a lot of 1111, you are on the right track. Have faith, right? But we have beauty, radiance, self-esteem, and strength. This person is going to give you a lot of strength. They're going to really raise your self-esteem and raise your self-worth and make you feel like the most beautiful person in the entire universe. They're going to make you feel comfortable in everything that you do. And not to say that you don't already, because I feel like those that pick this stack, you already know your worth, especially with this cat. You know, you're someone who already knows that you're you're very beautiful or handsome. You know that you're someone who is incredibly well-read, you're intelligent. You are the whole package and then some, right? Now, when this person comes into your life, you're really going to have that reaffirmed for you. You know, you're really going to see, oh yeah, I am beautiful. And people are going to start complimenting you more. And it's almost like you're going to have this immediate glow up where people stop you on the street and they're like, girl, I haven't seen you in like 5 weeks. Candace, you're glowing, girl. You're radiant. You're radiant. I've never seen you this radiant. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm dating someone, you know, and maybe people just know from this glow on your face that this is the person that you're literally going to marry, and everyone's like, I don't know, Candace, this looks like it might be the one, you know, and that's sort of the energy that we have going forward. But you're definitely going to radiate this very beautiful, loving energy, and people are really going to notice. You're just going to bloom and step into your power, step into your strength. Now, when I see strength as well, I think of the Strength card, and I think of a woman who is taming a lion, which actually reminds me of this woman with this tiger over here. You know, someone who can be very vulnerable in the face of a very scary situation, and someone who can just trust that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to. She has to trust that this tiger isn't going to eat her arm, and he has to trust that she's not giving him a poison berry, right? So there is a lot of trust that goes into a relationship, and that's not to say that, you know, relationships are always 100%, you know, excitement all the time and happiness, because there is a lot of worries, especially if you have been, you know, maybe deceived in the past or lied to, or things haven't necessarily gone the way that you had hoped in the past with relationships. You know that this is someone brand new. This is a very unique relationship, and it's going to be unlike anything that you've really experienced before. For those of you that picked this pile, maybe you've had reoccurring partners. You know, it doesn't have to be like the same partner over and over and over again, but this is just talking about cycles over and over again. Maybe people with commitment issues, people who are rude, people who, you know, maybe are just kind of avoidant. And now is your time to be with someone who is on your same level, who is just as caring, compassionate, and loving as you are. And it's just going to be a really beautiful time. The two of you are very, very spiritually connected too. You both might finish each other's sentences, and it's going to almost make you guys really, really laugh over the energy that the two of you share. So going forward onto your next two cards, these are going to be your Angels and Ancestors cards, and these are talking about energies that you should know in regards to bringing this marriage in faster. So we have Seer, see beyond the current situation, and Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Okay, so I love these two cards together. Oh my goodness, they're two of my favorite cards in the deck. So with Seer, see beyond the current situation, this is saying if you're someone who is very enmeshed in when am I going to find love? You know, is this going to be within the next year? Is it going to be within the next few months? Is it going to be before my birthday? This. You know, slow down. You know, see beyond this. What do you want for the long haul? You know, in that time, what are you going to be accomplishing? If it was assured to you tomorrow that you would find love in a year, what are you going to fill that year with? Are you going to fill the year with just pining and waiting and hoping you meet them? Or are you going to pack as much in as possible so that you are as fully developed when this person meets you, you know, so that you guys can both continue to grow, so that you both can continue to evolve? And I feel like that's really what Spirit is saying, is let go of the need to be right, let go of the need to know exactly when everything's going to happen. Have faith that everything's going to occur in divine timing. Have strength as well. This person is right around the corner. And, you know, maybe that's even what they're trying to say, is that if you could look beyond the current situation, if we could literally kind of take you a step back and look at your life as if it were a movie, you would see that there's someone like right around the block that's been watching your main character for a while now. And they've just been like, they've been like, wow, watching at the supermarket, you know, maybe watching at the mailbox. Maybe it's your literal post officer, excuse me, miss, it is your local post officer here. Regardless, maybe this is someone who, maybe you're postmaster. I don't know. Maybe you spend a lot of time at the post office delivering packages. But regardless, see beyond the current situation and know that love is right around the corner. This is something that is assured for you, right? So with Peacekeeper, you know, let go of the need to always know. Let go of the need to be in control of every situation as well. It can be very, very hard. I know. Especially with wood. When I think of wood, I think of earth energy, and I think of Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And when we have that in our charts, it can be very frustrating. to not know all of the little details, right? I have a lot of earth in my chart. I'm very, very earth heavy, earth and air. So it's very hard for me as well to let go of all the small details and, keep pushing through. But make sure that you do that. Make sure that you really come forward with that vulnerable side and say, hey, it's okay if I make mistakes. It's okay if I still have time in between. This buffer space is beautiful, and this buffer space is very sacred in knowing where it is that I want to go going forward. So on to your animal totem energy card. This is going to be your future partner's energy summed up in total. We have the Fool card. Sorry, I flipped it around because it fell on the ground. So we have the Fool card. Woohoo! So this is grasshopper energy. This is someone who is always springing into the next event. This is someone who's always going on to the next adventure. They're always starting brand new. They're always loving to have a brand new cycle. Now, the number 0 reminds me literally of buffer space. If we were to think of it as the number 10, we have the 1, we have the 0, and then it would start us over at another 1 again. So that buffer space is very sacred. Where do we want to go going forward? What do we want out of our next relationship? What do we want out of our career, right? Life keeps going on, so make sure that you keep pursuing your goals and pursuing your hobbies and your accomplishments and your passions first and foremost, right? Now, with the Sun as well, this is someone who loves to have a good time. They love to be very generous. They love to maybe even be the life of the party, right? But the Fool is a really, really wonderful energy to be in, and especially in regards to your future partner, the person that you're going to marry summed up, there couldn't be any better energy. This is someone who's very childlike. They're very passionate about what they do. They also love learning about new cultures and new experiences, right? So going on to your next few cards, these are going to be your main meat and potatoes of the reading. And this is going to be talking about the journey to marriage at long last. Woohoo! So what goes on in these cards is I drew until I got a card that indicated marriage. So this could be 2 cards that matched up with each other, like a king and a queen, an emperor and an empress, or the Hierophant and the 4 of Wands. And I drew until I received them. So we have the Magician, the Princess of Swords, the World card, the High Priestess, the Temperance card, the 8 of Pentacles, the Strength card. I love that we have Strength, and we also have the High Priestess, which reminds me of the Seer card. We also have the Stars, the 4 of Swords, and then that brings us into the 4 of Wands. Woohoo! So, going on to the Magician, starting us off, this is someone who is manifesting. This is someone who is actively working with the law of attraction and trying to bring in their ideal partnership. Maybe even someone who is making active plans after that. Where can I go to meet this person? What app should I be on? Maybe you're even looking on Facebook dating, you're looking on Tinder, you're looking all over. But for some of you, you're literally going out to parties and you're scouting. Maybe even writing online to friends and saying, hey, you want to go out for the weekend? You want to maybe go out to that new concert and see if we can kind of meet some new friends. But I feel like for those of you that pick the stack, you're not directly going out and looking for love. I feel like you're looking more so for kind of friendship. You're looking for acquaintances that maybe then could lead into love, right? With the Magician, the universe is very much saying that you have all of the resources that you need to bring this marriage in even faster. Make sure that you are working with affirmations. Make sure that you are constantly living in the energy of abundance as well, because that's going to help you bring this person in sooner. I also want to say that visualization is really going to help those that pick this pile in regards to the law of attraction. Maybe as you're laying in bed at night and listening to music, visualize what you want to happen. Now, this doesn't have to be an actual person. Like, don't be laying in bed actually envisioning Chris Pratt like coming over and being like, hey baby, you want to go out Friday night to the local wrestling match? Maybe we can manifest that. I want that so bad. But regardless, with that energy, just imagine holding someone's hand, the energy of getting butterflies the first time that y'all smooch, or, the first time that you hug, or, because those things never truly go away, that kind of beautiful, bubbly energy that someone makes you feel, those butterflies, right? That giddiness. So that's something that you can visualize to bring this person in a lot faster. We also have the World with the High Priestess. So this is saying, as things are changing, as things are progressing naturally in divine timing. Notice how we have summer, fall, winter, and then spring. This is saying this might even take another year, maybe even another 2 years. It's all up to how fast you can really utilize all of the lessons going forward, right? To trust your intuition. Remember how at the beginning of the video, I actually opened it up with this cat pendant saying to trust your intuition and trust yourself, because that's what's going to lead this partner in a lot faster. And that's why we have the High Priestess. This is also someone who doesn't tell their plans to a lot of people. They don't make their business private. There we go. I guess would be the best way to put it. They're not going to tell everyone their next move. They're going to keep some things private to themselves. Now, with the High Priestess, again, we have the number 2. So this is being very balanced in your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies, so that you can make very good decisions, and so that you can kind of feel out a situation and feel out whenever people come into your life. I feel like you're someone who is very good at feeling intentions of people, and you're very good at being a judge of character going forward. So make sure that you rely on that. You're someone who is incredibly intuitive, and that's what's going to lead you to this closing of the cycle. Now, we do have the Temperance card. So this is saying have patience, right? And it's so frustrating. No one wants to see the Temperance card in a love reading. You're just sort of like, but it is a good card, right? Because it is talking about your angels are working in the background, diligently mixing you guys' cups together, trying to bring this union together a lot faster. They're trying to maybe speed things up, so to speak, because it has been a little bit, not stagnant, but it's been very slow goings. And maybe they see you as someone who has been climbing your mountains, you've been achieving these goals, you've been working really hard, you've been trusting yourself, and now they really, really want to reward you. See how all this ice is kind of formed on this jug? It makes me think like that jug has been kind of pouring for a long time and it's starting to freeze. But regardless, she's working so fast now, this angel, that there's no time for the water inside to freeze, even as the jugs themselves are. So it's very much saying have patience. The universe is working with you, and they are going to bring this person in when the time is right, So we do have the 8 of Pentacles. And why is the time not right? Because there's work that has to be done, right? And I'm sorry, I know that's not like the most exciting thing to say, but you're someone who maybe needs to work on their finances, maybe needs to work on saving a little bit of money as well, or being a little bit more goal-oriented. With the 8 of Pentacles, this is someone who is just very dedicated to their work and dedicated to their goals and their passions. They are really, really putting their nose to the stone, and they're really like going to the grind. They're like, this is it. We're getting that bread, we're getting that cheese, and we're making that dough, right? And that's why we have all those coins on the side, because this is someone who is very wealthy. They're very well paid and very well recognized for the job that they do. I feel like you're someone who does a very good job. You're someone who works extremely hard. You give 110% at every job that you do. So keep pushing forward, keep on keeping on, which is why we have the Strength card. Even in the eye of opposition, if you have a coworker, if you have a friend, maybe even a family member that might show you a little bit of stubbornness, or maybe even be a little bit hard-headed towards you, treat them nicely, kill them with kindness is the old saying. Be really nice to them, smile at them, ask them, do you need any help with anything, Lance? Now with the Strength card, this is also talking about, it's really wonderful to have with Temperance, that you might go through a little bit of a troubling situation where you have to remain a little bit vulnerable. You have to remain a little bit sensitive as well. Even if you want to go forward very headstrong, make sure that you take a step back and you're very compassionate, you're very understanding. It could even be that for some of you that pick this pile, I feel like it's a very select few of you, maybe someone's going to come to your work and be like, look, this happened and blah, 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 and you're going to handle it very, very good, right? And that's actually why we have the stars after this. This is a job well done. It could be that maybe someone comes in and they complain. They're like, look, I ordered onions on my hot dog. I didn't get any onions on my hot dog. What the heck is that? And then you start talking to them, and then you guys have a date and you really hit it off. And then 5 years down the road, you remember you got married because they needed onions on their hot dog, right? But regardless, with the Strength card, just keep pushing forward, and then all this is going to happen. Remember how we had that card earlier? Here it is, renewal, and this is definitely the card of renewal. It's the card of purification. It's literally a good omen. It's literally the best way to describe it. It's just a good omen. It's good things to come. There's hope on the horizon, and this person is finally coming into your life. Maybe this is even saying after a period then of working, after a period of being in solitude, being by yourself, maybe even hibernating. It could even be that for some of you, maybe you experience a winter. It could be a literal winter, or it could be where you're maybe just thinking things over a lot, you're mulling things over, you're meditating, you're being a lot more mindful. That's when you're going to meet the person that you're supposed to settle down with. That's when you're really going to, get married and have that foundation, have that firm footing going forward. Now, the Four of Wands is also talking about two people coming together and maybe buying a house, maybe even building a house. We have a man here that is literally building a tree house. So I feel like the two of you are going to achieve amazing things together. But so far for your journey for love, I would definitely say focus on your career, focus on your successes, and that's what's going to bring this person in. Do you see in the stars, how beautiful this woman is as she's washing herself? And I feel like she's just doing it in such a beautiful way. She's offering water up to the gods and up to the heavens, and, as she's washing herself. And there's nowhere else, in the world that she'd rather be in that moment. I feel like that's going to be the energy that people feel when they look at you, is that you're someone who's very present. You're someone who is very dedicated to everything that they do, and you're very dedicated to yourself. You're not someone who is going to waver in the face of others, and that's the energy that your future partner is going to love. They are going to enjoy so much about you, right? So make sure that you're in that energy. Make sure that you're stepping into your power going forward. That's going to be incredibly important. So going on to your last few cards, these are your Enchanted Tarot cards, and then we will go on to your Tea Leaf Tarot cards. So in closing, we have the Tower. These are going to be messages on your future marriage and what you should know. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Seven of Hearts, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so these look a little bit scary, but do not fret, right? The Tower is really awesome because it is the number 16, it's the number 7. It's talking about being able to do things brand new, right? No longer being able to take that same old path, going down a different stretch of land. It might be a little bit more difficult, it might be a little bit scarier, but it's something that is going to bring you to where you're supposed to be. Now, that's why we have the Ace of Pentacles. You're someone who might experience something that frazzles you a little bit, or something that shakes up your world and causes you to have a brand new fresh start. But that's where we have the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe for some of you, you're going to be switching career. Maybe for some of you, you're going to be literally moving, or, maybe for some of you, you're literally going to quit your job, or something along those lines. But that's when this brand new opportunity comes in. I feel like for some of you, when this happens, you're already going to have other opportunities coming in, maybe you're already putting out job interviews and job applications, and you already have one accepted, so that when this happens, you have something to fall back on and something to rely on. But this is a brand new start. This is a fresh new beginning, and that's why we have the Ten of Wands coming up next. I feel like it's going to be a lot more responsibilities. I feel like there's going to be a lot more things on your plate, but the Ten of Wands is always talking about, you're almost home. In the traditional tarot, we have him looking off into the distance, and, there's the house on the hill, and, if he could only see past the wands, genuinely, he would be able to know that, oh my gosh, it's only a few more steps, and then I'll be able to sell all these wands and make a fortune, then he would be genuinely excited. So always look forward, even when you have a big workload, even when you have a lot of responsibilities or things that are weighing you down, see the bigger picture. And that actually brings me back to that Seer card. Let me find it really quick. I'm going to try not to make too much of a mess. See beyond the current situation. So there we go with the Ten of Wands. See beyond these current responsibilities and these current burdens, because that's when this person is going to step in. Now, with the Seven of Hearts, I feel like you're going to have a lot of opportunities. You're going to have a lot of suitors, and you're going to have a lot of maybe romantic offerings. Maybe people being like, ooh, let me take you on a date, but let me take you on a date. No, I said I'm taking Tiffany out on the date. Well, no, I said I was taking Tiffany out on the date. So it's just like everyone is fighting for your time, and everyone is just chomping at the bit to get with you. And maybe you're just sort of this angel who's like, whoa, I've never experienced this before. Maybe it even gives you a little bit of a headache. Maybe that's why we have the Ten of Wands, is you're juggling all of these feelings, all of these emotions, and all of these people who are coming forward and saying, well, I've always liked you. Would you go out with me? And well, I mean, over here, here, you know, what about me? Would you go out with me? And maybe there's going to be one person that really stands out above the rest. You see this blue heart, and it almost is looking like she's looking directly at it. Maybe that's the heart that you're going to end up taking. So make sure that you think things through very patiently, you know, and see who treats you the nicest. You know, see who you know, really lights up that fire inside of you. See who has the same values as you as well, you know, who makes you feel alive, who makes you feel happy and wanted and beautiful, because that's the energy of your future partner. And the person that you're going to marry is someone who is very compassionate, someone who loves you, not only just for you know, you for all that it is that you are, but everything that you do as well. You know, they see all the beautiful deeds that you do for people. They see how much you care for your family and for your friends, and I feel like they're going to remind you of that every single day and every chance that they get. We also have the Two of Pentacles, so I feel like make sure that you are taking the time right now to work with juggling between, you know, maybe work and love, or maybe your friends and career, maybe even family and career. But regardless, you know, it could be that that's a little bit of a struggle going forward in the relationship as well, is finding the time. Maybe time is a very big kind of issue going forward, but it's not going to be too bad. You know, make sure that you both keep a level head going forward, and that you make the time. You know, maybe you both set certain kind of goals for each other, like, hey, we're going to call each other at 10 o'clock every night, or 9 o'clock, or right before we go to bed. Or maybe even for some of you that are early birds, maybe the two of you wake up early together and then call each other, or call each other on Skype and have a morning coffee or morning tea, because this reminds me of two people that are kind of sitting and they're having like special coffees together. I don't know why, but that's the sort of energy that I have. Maybe the two of you are going to go out on a lot of coffee dates. So going on to your tea leaf tarot cards, these are talking about what sort of energies are going to be transpiring before you get married. So we have Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. So again, it's kind of like that Princess of Swords energy that we had. It's very much a planning energy, planning your next step, planning where it is that you want to go from here. You know, do you want to be a dentist in 5 years? Do you want to be, you know, a scientist that's putting stilts on ants' legs to do counting experiments? I don't know. You know, what do you want to do? Start thinking about it. You know, where do you want to be in 20 years? We also have Weeping Willow, family sorrow. So maybe there's a little bit of, maybe that's why we have the Tower here. Maybe for some of you, there's going to be a little bit of family sorrow. It could just be something, you know, maybe like a financial pinch. Maybe you guys are going to be going through maybe a financial burden or a really tough time with the Ten of Wands. Maybe that's having a lot of bills. Maybe even some people struggling a little bit with debt. But don't worry, you know, even though it feels very unsettled right now, it's just the situation and the circumstance that you're in right now. It's very temporary. You know, the Tower always happens so that we can clear out and we can have a fresh new start. And that's what's going to happen here. Look at that. I was just talking about being an ant stilt scientist. Yo! With ant, it says work, achievement, and success. You know, so focus on your work. Focus on working with others as well. That's when you're going to have those successes and you're going to achieve those achievements. We also have Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you, so make sure that you're spending time with them. Maybe even during this family sorrow, you know, if something happens, make sure that you're relying on the people that you love. Make sure that you're checking in on them as well. We also have Tree, affairs with your family. Okay, so maybe right now is the time for family, and that's why this person isn't coming into your life, because it's just not, it's not the right time, right? You have cycles that need your attention. You know, you have other responsibilities and you have other, kind of just responsibilities in general. I was gonna say requirements, but I don't think it would fall under that. We also have Vine, seek out information that will help you. It could be in regards to this family kind of sorrow, or this family kind of sadness. But regardless, with Tree, do you see how we have Weeping Willow and then we have Tree? We have two trees. Oh my goodness, I love it. So if we were to just kind of look at them, this one is really sparse, and then this one is like really kind of vibrant, and it's really full. It has a lot of leaves. I feel like this is talking about all of this trial and tribulation kind of ending, you know, and you finally are starting to feel abundant again. This situation is finally ending, and it might be from this information that you're seeking out. We also have Hat. You will be playing a different role. Oh my goodness. So, you know, maybe you're going to be playing the role of helping someone in regards to maybe health problems. Maybe it could be health problems. It could even be that maybe you have to help out your family in regards to bills. Maybe that's why we have the Two of Pentacles as well, is balancing your finances with the finances of your family. Maybe you're going to have to help out a sibling, help out a niece or a nephew, or maybe even your parents. And maybe that's why it says you will be playing a different role, because it's no longer you're the sister, you're the daughter, you're this, you're that. It's suddenly, hey, I have the money and I'm able to help you. Let me help you, right? We also have Dragon, beware of self-delusion. We also have Bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. There we go. It's almost like the bridge from Weeping Willow to Tree. It looks kind of sparse over here. You make it across the bridge and it goes to something absolutely beautiful, but give it time. Leaves don't just pop up overnight. It takes a long time for a tree to come back to life after it's been very sparse, especially after winter. We have a lot of winter imagery, so make sure that you give yourself time. Rome wasn't built in a day. We have success. There you go. You are definitely going to have a lot of success going forward. We have Quill, get back to basics, get back to work. We also have Tiger. Oh my goodness, there is double confirmation. I don't know if some of you are Year of the Tiger. If you're Year of the Tiger, let me know. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Maybe some of you, maybe your partner is like a boxer or something, or like literally a wrestler. Regardless, it says doing something risky and taking a chance. Maybe you're going to take a chance on your partner. If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me, right? So it's that sort of an energy. Oh my goodness, I could be making tiger puns all night, Charles. I love tiger puns. So make sure that you're putting yourself out there, having a good time, and doing something risky, stepping outside of your comfort zone. Oh my goodness, Throne, a position of authority. There we go. I love how we have two cards that are directly talking about you're going to have a different role going forward, and you're going to be someone who a lot of people look up to, a lot of people respect, a lot of people are giving recognition to, right? There we go. Diamond, you'll be receiving a precious gift or giving a precious gift, but I really feel like it's you'll be receiving one. I feel like this is your ring. I feel like that's being proposed to. We also have career, so make sure that you are focusing on your career. We have financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Okay, so this is in the future. Maybe you put a lot of that work in with that Eight of Pentacles. Actually, that works out really good with the Eight of Pentacles, because that really talks about putting the work in, putting the effort and the intention in. And that's what's going to make everything pay off and come to fruition. And that's why we have Dolphin. But dolphins are also very upbeat. Make sure that you're having fun, that you're seeing the silver lining in the situation. And while you're working, you're also visualizing the success that's going to come with it. See these coins as not only being like 8 coins, see it as 10 coins, as 20 coins, as 1,000,000 coins, right? See your whole house as coins. And that's why you have to live in the barn with the horses now, is because your house is just filled with coins. So live in your abundance, right? Because it is going to come back for you. We also have Skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. Maybe for some of you, there's a hidden secret within your family, and then that's what's going to be very upsetting. Maybe someone is hiding something. It could be maybe an illness. It could be maybe just a secret. Maybe they ate your Christmas cookies. Maybe you baked a whole batch of them, and they told you that the dog ate all your sugar cookies, but it was actually them. It was them the whole time. Tricky Aunt Barbara. Oh my goodness, but regardless, hidden secrets can harm you, and I don't feel like you have to worry about that. I don't feel like that's anything that you have to worry about, but make sure that you control your anger with lightning. It says control your anger or you will be sorry. In this situation, make sure that you are staying very level-headed and you are seeking out the compassion in this as well. We also have Pineapple, reconciliation. Woohoo! So, I definitely feel like you guys are going to be reconciliating with someone. It could be that person in your family. Maybe they are being a little bit self-delusional, right? Maybe this is someone who constantly acts like they're better than other people, and you're just sort of like, yeah, whatever. And for a long time you've kind of shrugged it off, but now they're coming for you, and you have to kind of step into your power and say, oh no. No, you're not going to treat me like that anymore. I am an adult. I'm someone who can take care of myself. I'm someone who is self-sufficient, self-reliant, and I am someone who is very, very accomplished, right? Now, with pineapple, I feel like for some of you, this could be an ex. This could be someone who maybe you dated in the past, maybe an old friend as well, maybe just an old friend that wants to come forward and, maybe say, hey, how you doing? I'm really sorry about what happened. Maybe you're going to hear them out. Maybe you're going to accept their apology. Maybe you're going to write back to them. But regardless, there's definitely an energy of reconciliation, and there's this really conductive energy of, maybe even just apologies in general. Someone really wants to make things right for whatever happened. It could even be that you're in a relationship with this person and, maybe they say something. It doesn't even have to be anything bad. It could be like maybe with hidden secrets. Maybe they talk stink one time to their friends, and now their friends are just sort of like, wow, I can't believe Debbie would do that, and it's just like a really silly situation that they have to handle and that they have to take care of, but it's going to be resolved. Whatever this is, it's definitely going to be resolved going forward. Thank you so much for watching this video, though. I had so much fun reading for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a like down below and a comment as well, as I love hearing from you guys. It makes my day every day. Also, make sure to hit subscribe and also the notification bell if you have not already, to be notified every time that I post a brand new reading. But yeah, I hope that you will also check out my website, DarlingDTarot.com, for 10% off all of my readings. We are having a grand opening sale for having a brand new website, so I'm so excited for you guys to see it. So definitely check that out and maybe get a personal reading with me, right? Also, I have my Etsy in the description box down below and all of my other links. So yeah, I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 3. Let's get right into your reading and see what will your journey to marriage look like. So right off the bat, I want to address that you chose the butterfly pendant. Woohoo! This is a really awesome energy that is talking about metamorphosis, transformation, and growth. You are someone who is going to be stepping into your power, and maybe that's the overall energy that your spirit guides want you to know in regards to bringing in this future partner a lot faster and bringing in this marriage. Is make sure that you step into your power. Make sure that you allow others to really appreciate and respect you as well. You're someone who has been through a lot. You've grown through a lot as well. And love is right around the corner. Now is the time to just bask in everything that you are. Bask in the energy of joy and celebrations. I feel like you're going to be receiving a lot of signs from your spirit guides going forward, and your ancestors and past loved ones. They might be communicating through you through kind of butterflies. Maybe you also receive a lot of online ads for butterfly conservatories. That's just kind of a sign that you're on the right path, and that change is coming soon in the form of a partner. It's almost like those movie ads, coming soon in a theater near you. The future partner and the wedding. So it's a really awesome energy. But regardless, I feel like those that pick this stack, you might also be seeing a lot of synchronicities, maybe 444, 111, maybe 1111, just kind of saying, hey, you're on the right path, you're going towards your future partner, and you're going towards stability, you're going towards a very firm foundation. After the butterfly comes out of the cocoon, it feels very brand new. It feels like, man, what am I? I'm not quite the same thing that I was before. I have wings now. Like, I can literally fly. What am I? So it has to go about finding its new place in the world. And that's the energy that we have for you. Trust in the universe and trust that you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find this perfect partner for you. And you guys are just going to come together magnetically, right? So going on to your first two cards, these are your animal language cards, and these are talking about characteristics, qualities, and traits of the person that you will be marrying. So we have number 41, Tree Frog, and number 44, Koala. Woohoo! So these are awesome cards as well. Oh my goodness, I love all of the yellow and orange imagery in the background. Very, very sun-like, very much vivacious, very bright, very bubbly, and energetic. Someone who might be very spontaneous, someone who loves to adventure. They might love really being outside, being outdoors. They love mountain biking, mountain climbing, hiking. Maybe they love scuba diving. Maybe this is someone who just constantly loves to be doing something. They're very active. Maybe this is someone who would make a very good PE teacher, right? But regardless, I feel like they feel more at home on nature trails than anywhere else. Maybe that's where they go to really calm down, to relax. They climb a tree, You know, maybe they bring out their art supplies, maybe they bring out, you know, maybe their favorite music, maybe they bring out their iPod from back in the day and they sit in their tent and they just listen to music, and it helps them relax. It's sort of their meditative space, which is actually a topic that we have on the tree frog card. It says meditation. So I feel like this is someone who definitely does have mindful moments. They meditate. They love being out in nature. I feel like that's incredibly important for them to be getting fresh air. I feel like when this person gets sick or when they come down with a flu or a cold, they're going to push through it. You know, this is someone who will force themselves to go to work. They'll probably throw up at work, and then they'll have to go home early because everyone's like, Dan, that's gross. Go home, Dan. We don't want you here. That's gross. You know, so they pretty much get shamed into going home. But this is someone who doesn't like to be home. This isn't someone who likes to be stagnant. Unless they're having that outside time, that quiet time. They would love to take you out on a hike. They'd love to take you out on an adventure. They'd love to kind of do anything for you. I feel like this is someone who is incredibly flexible. They love to bend their schedule to fit to yours. I feel like this is someone who, as they're working throughout the day, when they have a lunch break, they're going to pick you up and they're going to kind of grab you by the arm and be like, I gotcha, Samantha, you're mine now. We're going out on this lunch date, right? And maybe you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, Lionel, I'll go out with you, that's fine. So, but they're very, very adventurous, and they're someone who is constantly moving. You know, there has to be this constant movement for them in evolution. Now, it's interesting that we have both a butterfly and a frog because they're not too far apart, right, in terms of metamorphosis and in terms of transformation. They start out as tadpoles and they start out as caterpillars, two completely different things that have to relearn their bearings. You know, so I feel like your future partner is someone who has also had to learn how to step into their own power, how to implement their own strengths, and how to maybe even strengthen the things that they assumed were weaknesses. And I feel like that's something that they really had to work on, was not seeing themselves as weak in certain areas, just seeing themselves as where they need to improve, where they need to work on, right? This is someone who is working on their self-esteem. They're working on their self-worth. I feel like maybe they had a lot of bad relationships in the past, and maybe they were someone who became a little bit non-committal for a long time. So it really took the right person to be able to thaw their heart, and that's going to be you, right? But it's almost like they focused on themselves for a long time. They focused on their own journey, on their own seclusions, and now they're coming out of that, and they're almost like, hey, I'd really like to be in a partnership. I'd really like to know what that's all about. So I feel like that's why you guys had the shortest pile as well in regards to the cards that you had in finding love and finding marriage. I feel like it's right around the corner. I feel like it's just about the two of you both harnessing your powers and going out there, you know, finding each other. Now, with number 41, this is talking about change and evolution and growth. This is someone who is going to grow with you. They're going to evolve with you, and they're going to grow old with you, right? This is someone who might even be very psychic. I feel like they're very well planned. They're very, very resilient, and this is someone who loves to like kind of plan into the future, maybe even visualize or daydream. I think that they see it more as planning more so than daydreaming, even if they're there like, ooh, wow, we could be married and we could do this and that, you know, and they're literally daydreaming about it, but they're like, no, it's fine. I'm planning for the future, right? But I feel like they're very intellectual, maybe a little bit more logical than feelingsy as well, is the feeling that I get. At times I feel like they're a little bit stoic or a little bit reserved, but it's not that they're disinterested. I feel like that couldn't be any further from the truth. This is someone who is going to constantly be an active listener to you. You know, this is someone who is never going to turn down the opportunity to talk. You know, even if they're not the ones that are doing the majority of the talking, they're someone who is going to be very open to listening and very much a captive audience for you. Now, with koala, really quick, I know that I was on tree frog, but I'm just going to jump over here and then we'll go back. When I see koalas, I think of the fact that they eat meat, and I don't know, that really, really wigs me out. It always has. So it's kind of like, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, they might look really sweet, they might look very cuddly or innocent, but I feel like this person has been through a lot of challenges. They've been through a lot of tribulations and a lot of maybe even mountains that they've they've had to climb and that they've had to overcome that have made them very strong and made them the person that they are today. And maybe that's something that they really don't like. They don't like when people just see them as, you know, this really handsome or beautiful person. They don't like when people just see them as what's on the outside. You know, this person is very, very strong, you know, and I feel like that's something they're really going to love, is that you appreciate that about them. And you offer that perspective to them that they are also strong. Maybe they from time to time forget, because do you see his little belly here? It almost makes me feel like maybe your partner is someone who, you know, they just kind of relax to themselves. You know, this isn't someone who is focused about being like a bodybuilder. Maybe some of them are, but for the most part, you know, they're just kind of achieving their goals, and, you know, they're not listening to what other people have to say about them. You know, they're very happy with life, but, you know, it still gets them down from time to time, you know, when people are like, ooh, look at their little belly. You know, that's something that literally gets your future partner down a lot. Now, with calm, I feel like you bring a lot of calm to this person's life, and they bring a lot of calm to yours. Your future partner is someone who has a very naturally calming energy. They're very healing. They're very understanding and compassionate. You know, maybe for some of you, they're musicians. I feel like also with these big ears, maybe they're very good at picking up musical compositions. Maybe they're very good at kind of understanding languages as well. Maybe they're bilingual. Maybe there's someone who just listens to a lot of audiobooks. I feel like there's something that has to do with them listening. You know, there's someone who maybe even that's how they learn, is by listening to audiobooks, by listening to YouTube videos. That's how they pick up new tips and tricks and techniques going forward. With imagination, again, this is someone who is definitely very, very much in their imagination. Even if they see it more as a logical, well, I'm making plans for the future, it's more of, you know, they're actually daydreaming. You know, they're thinking about the person that they love in a very romantic way. I feel like even if they don't admit it, they're very hopelessly romantic. This is someone who wants to have that fairy book romance, you know, and maybe meet their lord or lady on the mountaintop and be like, yes, hop onto my horse and we will ride off into the sunset, you know, and this is them sitting in their tree thinking about wooing you and taking you off into the sunset as the sun sets behind them as they're camping, you know, and they're just reminiscing and they're thinking about you. And I think that's the energy that they have. They're very mellow, they're very calm, they're very cool and collected and relaxed. And I feel like they're an open book for the most part. This person doesn't have secrets. This person doesn't hold on to things. They don't hold on to regrets. They don't hold on to grudges. They live moment to moment and second to second. You know, this is someone who, you know, as much as they're very planned and they look forward to the future, this is still someone who doesn't always want to be thinking about the future. They want to be thinking about now. You know, they sometimes don't even want to be thinking about tomorrow. You know, sometimes they just want to be focusing on tonight. What are they going to be eating tonight? You know, what's gonna be happening tonight? Now, with number 41, Tree Frog, we also have Soul Song, Meditation, Creation, and Rebirth. Now, with Creation and Rebirth, it's really awesome because they understand that they're the creators of their own destiny. They are the person that can actively manifest new blessings and abundances into their life. And I feel like they actively do that through their visualizations and maybe even through vision boards. Maybe for the people that pick the stack, you know, your future partner works a lot through vision boards, whether they have that in their office or their home, maybe even in their living room. There's somewhere that they keep this vision board. For some of them, it's even on Pinterest as well. They just have a My Goals and Accomplishments kind of section or tab. And then every time that they accomplish something in there, whether it be really, really small or really big, they go in and they delete it off of the checklist. And I feel like it's a really wonderful way for them to stay focused and have that incentive to keep going towards their goals. You know, even if it's a really far jump until the next branch, they're going to get there. They're going to keep persevering and keep moving forward. Now, with Rebirth, it's very much saying, I'm not scared about ending old cycles that no longer serve me, because I know that I can step into something that is a lot more conductive for me. I can step into an energy that will protect me and that will keep me in this abundant light. And that's the way that they're seeing the world now. This is someone who has surrendered to the universe. I keep hearing like, you know, that this person is really, really mellow. They just go with the flow. They surrender, and, you know, they're not trying to struggle anymore. They're not trying to fight against the current is the best way to put it. Now, with number 44, this would be the number 8. They're someone who is incredibly passionate. They're very dedicated. They're very, very courageous and brave at the same time. This is someone who would stick up for you. Even though they look very sweet, maybe they're even someone who is a little bit shorter than people that you've dated in the past. Maybe for some of you, they just don't look like someone who could potentially protect you, right? But hey, the mightiest things come in the smallest packages is what I love to say about my 2 chihuahuas. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. And they are so fierce, right? When they want to be. And that's the energy of the person that you are going to marry, is that this person would protect you with their life. This person would do anything for you. They would go to the ends of the world for you, and they would haggle with the gods of the underworld themselves if they had to, right? So this is someone who is very, very loyal, and, definitely who would go that extra mile for you day and day after day. So, with soul song as well and meditation, this is someone who meditates so that they can get right back onto their life purpose. This is someone who knows what they want out of life, and that's why we have soul song. They stay true to themselves. They stay true to the song of their soul, and they're not going to settle for anything less, which is also why we have the number 8. This is someone who is incredibly passionate. Also, I wanted to mention very, very quick, with the number 8 and the number 5, maybe that's going to be important for you. Maybe for some of you, your future partner, or you have maybe some Aries or maybe Pisces in your chart. It doesn't have to be, but with the number 5, it makes me think of May. With the number 44, that makes me think of the number 8, and that also brings me to maybe you have some Leo or maybe some Virgo in your charts, or it could even be your future partner's charts. But I just wanted to touch on that fact really, really quick, because I feel like maybe the 8th month, maybe August, is really, really important to some. Maybe your birth date is in August, maybe their birth date is in August, maybe even their birth date or your birth date is in May. But I wanted to mention that very, very quick. So going on to your next 2 cards, these are your Secrets of the Mystic Grove cards, and these are talking about overall energies your future partner is going to be bringing into this marriage. So we have number 33, tenacity, and number 11, solitude. Wait a second. Okay, so I love that we have number 44, number 33, and number 11. Oh my goodness. Earlier I was talking about synchronicities, and I was talking about they might see certain numbers, and oh my goodness, look at all of these synchronicities. I feel like those that pick the stack, you've been seeing numbers up to wazoo, haven't you, right? But that's just kind of a sign that you're on the right path and that your angels are protecting you. You are someone who is divinely guided right now into the arms of your future partner. Honestly, which is why you had the fastest cards to getting married, because I feel like it's right around the corner if you haven't met this person already. Now, with the number 33, tenacity, this is going to be the number 6. So this is talking about abundance. It's also talking about work-related energies and really shining, being the life of the party, having a good sense of humor, always focusing on the silver lining and having a good time. Now, with tenacity, this is really saying have an abundance of, being able to stick up for yourself, being able to feel that you're making the right decision as well. It says dedication, determination, and stubbornness. Maybe in this relationship, your future partner is someone who is a little bit stubborn. Maybe it's a little bit hard for the 2 of you to see eye to eye, but you've always come to that common ground at the end of the day, and that is what is so beautiful. I feel like the both of you really believe in not going to bed angry, so the 2 of you will always work things out before you go to bed, before your head hits those pillows. You guys are talking about it. With determination and dedication, this is saying that your relationship can always withstand anything if you have enough determination and enough dedication to it. Do you have an abundance of love for this person? Do you have a lot of emotion for this person? If you do, then I feel like that enough, in itself is going to help this relationship withstand the test of time. Show a little bit more love here and there as well. I feel like this is someone who really loves when you're very affectionate towards them. So when this person comes into your life, don't feel scared about maybe grabbing their hand, holding their hand for the day, maybe even, kind of asking them to come over and you cook them dinner. It can be a little bit scary, but this is someone who is very dedicated to you. And even if the two of you were to travel to different cities, maybe one of you goes to a different university, maybe one of you works a few cities over for career, but then on the weekends you come back together. Regardless, this is very much saying you can make it work. This is always there's always enough. The universe is abundant in so many ways, and it is ready to gift you. So with the number 6, this is talking about manifestation. So bring this person in using manifestations, and also help the relationship grow with manifestations. Say, every day I am attracting more and more unconditional love to me, which in turn is bringing more unconditional love into my relationships. And really specify that. Say, I am someone who is understanding of my partner's needs. I am someone who is growing to be the best partner I can be. And that way, that also will kind of bring a lot more happiness into the relationship, especially when the two of you are away from each other. With number 11, solitude, maybe taking time apart to be able to have meditative time. I feel like this is someone who still loves to be very independent. They still love to go on and do their own thing. But regardless, they bring a lot of sanctuary to your life, a lot of quiet and a lot of rest. They have a very healing energy. This is someone who you're going to want to just kind of cuddle up with all day. You're going to want to spend the whole day watching Netflix and cuddling on the couch, maybe eating some snacks. We also have a lot of pine cones, which makes me think of like kind of scented pine cones that you get in Joann's and all those other craft stores. So maybe this is someone who you're going to meet in the month of December, maybe even during the holidays, but it doesn't have to be for all of you. It could be also when you're going to be proposed to. This is maybe even a really important time for the both of you. You really love being involved with your family. This is someone who isn't going to make you spend all the time with their family. They're going to say, we can both go to your families as well, or you can just go to your families. It's really up to you, but they're going to give you the choice. This isn't someone who's going to kind of strong arm you into going to their family holidays and their family get-togethers, right? They want you to do it because you are genuinely moved to do so. Now, with quiet and ponder, I feel like this is someone who loves to have that reflective, self-meditative space. And I feel like the same goes for you. And maybe that's even why we have the tenacity card. This is having the tenacity to be able to say, I'm sorry, babe, but I need some time for myself. Maybe even just walking into another room after saying that, just saying, I'm going to go meditate. I'm going to go listen to music. I'm going to go bake some brownies, and then you quietly excuse yourself and you go off and you go about your business and you meditate, or you bake those brownies and you eat them brownies too. But regardless, this is definitely that energy of going off and doing your own thing, and they aren't going to get mad at you for doing that. This isn't the type of person who is going to give you a taste of your own medicine. This is someone who knows that you're genuinely busy. They know that you need time to maybe de-stress or maybe even decompress. Maybe you're someone who works a very hectic job. Maybe for some of you, you work in an ER. Maybe you're an ER nurse, and that's a really hectic job. Maybe for some of you, you're chefs, and they know that you need your quiet time, and they definitely are going to respect that. They're not going to overstep your boundaries, even when the two of you are married, because maybe some of you that picked this pile, maybe that was something that you were always nervous about in regards to getting married. Am I going to find someone who is respectful of my need for quiet time? Am I going to find someone who is respectful of my need for space and personal privacy? Because that's very important for you. I feel like you are someone who is incredibly spiritual, and you are someone who is very, very in touch with your spirit guides, which is why we have the moon in the background. So I feel like also for some of you that are empaths, you need time to kind of decompress and kind of wring yourself out. Think of yourself as a sponge, and you soak up and absorb all of these negative energies and all of these emotions from everyone. So you need time to just kind of wring yourself out and start over brand new, to have that sort of rebirth as a sponge. And they respect that. They understand that going forward. And I feel like they never feel that the two of you are very far to begin with. Even if the two of you are quarreling or the two of you are not necessarily seeing eye to eye, they still think of you. When they're out hiking, when they're out maybe even fishing or scuba diving, they're always thinking of you, right? So going on to your next 4 cards, these are your angels and ancestors cards, and these are talking about energies that you should know in regards to bringing this marriage in a lot faster. So we have Spirit Fox, Magic Guardian, Protection Guardian, and Stargazer. Okay, so I love these cards. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. These are actually my two favorite guardians. Aren't they beautiful? Oh my goodness. So with Spirit Fox, it says, trust your talents in changing times. Again, you know, there are going to be times of metamorphosis, times of change, and it's going to not necessarily be the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's a time of growth. It's a time of, you know, learning to rely on yourself as well. With Spirit Fox, I think of someone who is still a little bit mischievous. They focus on the fun of an event. They focus on the excitement as well. So make sure that you're doing that. Focus on the abundances going forward. So going on to Magic Guardian, I'm so excited. This is actually my favorite card in the entire deck. It says, Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. And it talks about how you are the most powerful power and the most powerful source in your world, right? It doesn't matter what other people think about you. It doesn't matter what other people are saying of, ooh, Jen hasn't found her boyfriend yet. And, you know, oh, it's Christmas and she should be bringing around someone for the holidays. It doesn't matter, you know? You're going to find them when the time is right for you. You have a lot of talents, and that's what this card is talking about. Focus on your talents. Focus on the things that make you beautiful and that make you strong. Focus on the things that can get you out of challenging times and out of hardships. You know, focus on unlocking your spirituality at the same time, because that's also going to help you kind of be guided towards your future partner. You know, but do you see how she's kind of extending this bowl out to you? It not only makes me think of cleansings, you know, and kind of purifications and renewals, you know, and kind of saging your body so that you get rid of all the negative emotions and feelings, but it's also reminding me of an offering, you know, like this can be yours. You know, do you want to start over brand new? Do you want to have a change in your life? Do you want to have this future partner involved with you, you know, and in your life? And, you know, having this healthy relationship, the choice is yours. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable to hold this burning bowl, but it's something that you can definitely do. It's something that you can persevere through, and you will learn the lesson from it, right? Do you see how we have this beautiful pentacle that's over her head as well? That's not only signifying enlightenment, but it's signifying that she's achieving her abundances, that it's all coming to fruition in the 3D. So make sure that you're not only focusing on, you know, what it is that you want out of your career, what it is out of your life, but also focus on what it is that you want in a relationship. You know, do you want a very long-term relationship? Do you want one that's just going to be very, very fast? Do you want a very slow burning relationship? You know, what would be ideal for you going forward? Now, we also have Protection Guardian. It says, drop your shields. You know, maybe don't be so defensive. Maybe for some of you that picked this stack, it's a little bit hard for you maybe to meet new people, or maybe to open up or to trust new people. Do you see the difference between the Magic Guardian and the Protection Guardian? How she has her wings a little bit more folded around her body, and she's very open. You know, her body language is, she's like, I'm here, I'm proud, I'm the queen of this situation, whereas Protection Guardian is like, hold back, you know, stay there, you know, be gone, thought. It's very much that energy. And it's different. You know, make sure that you're not being defensive. Make sure that you're not, you know, potentially denying people entrance in your life that would be very conductive to you. We have all of these peacock feathers. I feel like you're someone who definitely has been through a lot. You've been through a lot of trials and tribulations. Maybe you're someone who has been in the past thinking, you know, where is this person? When is this person coming into my life? But you had to become a phoenix and then cool down and become the peacock that your future partner is really going to idolize, and they're going to worship and love. You know, this is someone who, honestly, I say they're going to worship you, but that's genuinely what's going to happen here. They're going to think that you're the bee's knees, that you're all that and then some. You know, you're a bag of chips and a side of, you know, a milkshake, right? So with a stargazer, it says, set your sights higher. You know, if you want a really good relationship and you want to have the same hobbies, you know, nothing is impossible. You know, go out there, put yourself out there. Again, if you like Coldplay, go to that Coldplay concert, yo. You know, are they touring near you? Go to them. You know, put yourself out there. Maybe even start joining some groups online. Maybe join some YouTube groups as well. Maybe some local covens, some local churches. Whatever you really feel pulled to do, go towards them. You know, set your sights sights higher. Go and achieve your goals before this person comes into your life, because I feel like it's very, very soon that this person is going to come in with communication if they have not already. Some of you that picked this deck might already be engaged, or might already have known this person, or maybe already are dating them, right? So set your sights higher, focus on yourself and focus on your passions. Nothing is out of the realm of possibilities. What do you want out of a relationship going forward? If you could be the creator of your destiny, if you could write for yourself as if you were the main character of your book, what would you write for your main character to do going forward? What would you want them to do in regards to love? Would you want them to pursue Jake? Would you want them to pursue Dylan? Would you want them to pursue Austin? Who would you want them to pursue? So make sure that you're always putting yourself out there, and actively pursuing your dreams and your aspirations. Drop your shields. Don't be so defensive. The universe has your back and they're protecting you. Just go and achieve your goals and pursue your hobbies. So going on to your next card, this is your animal totem card, and this is talking about the overall energy summed up of the person that you are going to be marrying. So we have the Ace of Wands. Woohoo! So this is firefly energy. This is someone who lights their own path. They're very enlightened, they're very spiritual, and they're very, very intelligent. This is someone who can definitely be the creator of their own destiny, like I talked about earlier, but someone who is always starting up brand new, someone who, if they're not passionate about what they're doing, they don't want to do it. They're not going to do it even. Maybe this is someone who is incredibly stubborn in that, right? This is someone who they're like, I'm not going to be doing anything unless I want to be doing it. I'm going to be doing things in the time that I want to be doing it as well. Maybe they're a little bit slower paced than you, and you're someone who is very fast, very dedicated, very on top of things, and you're constantly getting things done, and they're still like on the couch, or they're still like, hey, I'm gonna go get ready for camping, and they're constantly out, maybe in the woods, or they're constantly out doing something, and you're just sort of like, well, okay, but I feel like this is someone who just loves to be pursuing their passions. They just love to be having a good time, and they're very childlike at heart, right? This is someone who definitely knows where they're going in life and what it is that they want out of life as well. So going on to your next few cards, these are your ethereal visions cards, and these are talking about your overall journey to marriage. Woohoo! So we have the Page of Swords, the King of Swords. I love that transition, followed by the Death card. Oh my goodness, this is everything that we've talked about kind of leading up to this. The Page of Wands again. Look, there they are. Even though it's the Ace of Wands, I still think of him as a page. I don't know why, but I always associate him with the Page of Wands. We also have the Sun, the Lovers, and the Hierophant. Okay, so right off the bat, oh my goodness, we have the Page of Swords. This is talking about someone who is leveling up in communication. You might even be someone who is going to be relying more on your logical side as opposed to anything else. And maybe that's even what's going to be kind of transforming here. Remember how I was saying earlier that you're going from the caterpillar into the butterfly? That's going from the page into the king. You are mastering that side of you. You are someone who is going to be able to come forward with communication without shying away, without being scared. You're definitely dropping your shield. You know that you are already protected by your guardians, by your ancestors, and by your past loved ones. So you're someone who, is now like, hey, I'm going to pursue my passions. I'm going to pursue my goals. And I love that we have the Death card as well, because this is literally talking about transformation. You are someone who is stepping into a brand new life. And again, onto, the caterpillar and the butterfly, it's a little bit scary because they know they can never return to the life of the caterpillar ever again. But would they want to? They have a lot more freedom as the butterfly. They could go anywhere they want. They can travel miles upon miles, and especially with the wisdom that they have, they wouldn't ever go back. They wouldn't ever trade anything that they've done. So kind of go forward with that energy, transform your life in a way that, you wouldn't regret anything. You see it as a learning lesson, and you're ready to achieve more. Now, with the Page of Wands, this is going towards your passions, pursuing your hobbies, and looking out to the distance, lighting your own path, so to speak. Maybe even getting into the energy of your future partner, the energy that they're in. I feel like your future partner from time to time as well. Maybe you're going to be a little bit better in regards to communication than them. Maybe you're going to have to get things started. Maybe you're going to have to get like a feelings jam warmed up and be like, so I've been feeling this way, Jacob. And you really have to give them hints like, you can speak your mind as well. But it's just because they want to keep things lighthearted and fun and upbeat. But with the Page of Wands, I feel like you're really going to be pursuing your own passions, your own goals, and your own maybe even spiritual pursuits, right? We also have the Sun. You're going to be feeling very good. You're going to be feeling very kind of successful, very enchanted, very excited. Maybe someone who is receiving a lot of recognition, a lot of abundance, a lot of admirers as well. Do you see that Sun looking down at her? And it's just sort of like, wow. And, surrounding her with these beams of light and this warmth. And I feel like that's the energy you're going to be getting if you go out to nightclubs or you go out to maybe even a local movie theater on like the grand opening of a new Marvel movie. Everyone's going to look at you, and it's going to be you're glowing, you're radiating, you're someone who is just in such a beautiful energy that people are drawn to you magnetically. And with the Sun, everything's going to be happening the way that it's supposed to. Everything's going to happen in divine timing, and it's going to happen in a way that is even better than previously suspected would go down, right? Because we then have the Lovers and the Hierophant. Maybe for some of you, you are meeting a twin flame, you're meeting a soulmate, you're meeting someone who has been in your soul family for a long time. This is someone who is going to join you on your life purpose and on your life path. And maybe they're going to come around when you're feeling your best, when you're feeling the most excited, when you're feeling abundant, when you're feeling like you have more than enough, and that you're open to sharing it with another person, right? Maybe even asking assistance of your angels and saying, I am dropping my shields, I'm dropping any defensiveness that I might have or any worries, restrictions, or kind of fears that might be holding me back. I'm going to go into that Shawn Mendes energy of there's nothing holding me back. Now with the Lovers, this is talking about you are right on track, right? And everything is going to work out the way that it's supposed to, especially with these white roses. I feel like there's going to be a lot of purity and a lot of innocence in regards to this relationship. The two of you might hold hands a lot. You might kiss each other's cheeks. You might just be very, very affectionate and very cute. It's just going to be a very warm and bubbly and cuddly relationship for the most part. I can see the two of you going out on nature hikes and them picking you flowers and giving you them, and then you stop and you share a little romantic kiss, and then you keep going, right? But that leads us into the Hierophant, and this is the marriage card. This is the two of you joining together and joining together in your power. I feel like the both of you have very strong personalities, and that's what's going to make the two of you a power couple going forward. So going on to your last few cards, these are your Enchanted Tarot cards, and then we will cover your Tea Leaf Tarot cards. We have the World, the Six of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Hearts, the Death card again, and the Justice card. Okay, so whoop whoop, I love seeing double death. Oh my goodness. Double-decker death. Now, with number 13, death, this is talking about finding stability again after a transformation. And do you see Justice? It's almost like after you give up on that before that no longer serves you, that's when you're going to receive something even better than before. It's almost like when maybe a parent says, well, you've had that piece of clothing for a long time. It doesn't fit you anymore. I know you like it, but if we donate it, maybe we can then go out and get a brand new shirt, right? So it's very much that same energy. You get something better and something brand new while you're still doing, what you need to do, right? It's kind of the best way I can put it. I feel like the universe is gifting you for your perseverance and gifting you for the fact that you're not holding on to things. Look at that. With the Four of Pentacles, that's the best way to put it. This is like that child that's holding on to their favorite shirt, and even though they've outgrown it, they're still like, but Ma, I love this shirt, right? And they can't help it. It's something that they've really grown fond of, and it's more comfortable for them to hold on to it. It's something that has been a universal constant for them. But at the end of the day, they need a bigger shirt. They need something that's going to fit a little bit better for them, and that's where Justice comes in. They're going to give you a relationship that is going to fit you a lot better, but you have to be willing to get rid of all of the negative energies that might have come before this person, especially if this is someone that's coming back into your life. I don't feel like it's that at all. I feel like for the majority of you, it is a brand new person that's coming into your life that's going to swoop you off your feet, but it's going to feel like, wow, it was definitely, you know, it was about time, right? You got your just desserts, so to speak. And it's in the form of someone who is absolutely incredible and absolutely phenomenal. This is someone who is always, always, always going to give you unconditional love and always going to tell you how much they love you as well. With the Queen of Hearts, this is someone who is nurturing, someone who is very protective, and someone who might even be a little bit motherly or fatherly to you, you know? They might bring along like snacks on trails. They might bring along, you know, Band-Aids. Maybe they're always prepared. They always have toilet paper or extra water in their car. But regardless, this is someone who is always thinking ahead. They're always planning. So then that way the people that they love can stay as comfortable as possible. We also have the Six of Wands. This is talking about victory. This is talking about you're going out to the hunt, and you know, maybe at first you were a little bit scared because you were thinking, wow, you know, everything is kind of you know, maybe asleep by now. How am I gonna find any antelope? And then bam, you find them, you catch them, and then you go back feeling victorious because everyone can eat tonight. Woohoo! It's a grand feeling, right? But that's how you're going to feel in this relationship, is you're going to feel victorious. You're going to feel as if you've won the lottery. We also have the World, you know, so this is saying everything's going to wrap up the way that it's supposed to. You know, maybe for a while as well in regards to maybe career. You know, they're saying don't feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Allow yourself to be in this energy of having fun, you know, being in this victorious energy where you have enough, where you're abundant, and you can focus on your fun, on your self-care as well. The Queen of Hearts is talking about someone who maybe needs a little bit longer of a self-care routine. Maybe they need to take more care of themselves, right? Now, going on to your tea leaf tarot cards, these are going to be talking about energies that will be happening before you get married. We have kite vacation. Maybe for some of you, you're going to be traveling and that's how you're going to meet this person. Maybe you meet them on the plane and you guys hit up a conversation. Maybe you guys meet up on a cruise and you guys eat up at the buffet together, you know? Maybe the two of you meet up in the ice castle in Sweden. But regardless, I feel like there's definitely this energy of vacation. Maybe even vacation is very important to the two of you. Maybe the two of you are going to be going on a vacation. We also have desk. Pay attention to your work. Even though you're someone who, you know, maybe is going to have a vacation time or maybe needs a vacation time, make sure that you're still spending time at your work, you know, and taking care of what needs to get done. We have hills, obstacles to overcome, but they will be overcome. I promise you. We also have wreaths, sorrow over a loss. I don't feel like it's anything too big. I feel like it's just the loss of who you used to be. Remember how I was saying that, you know, you're literally going from the page to the king, and that's a little bit scary of an energy. Suddenly you have responsibilities. Suddenly you have an entire kingdom to look after, and you're like, what? I'm 12, right? So that's the energy that we have going forward. There's a loss of, you know, maybe your freedom, maybe not having as many responsibilities, maybe just living by yourself. Maybe it's the literal death of a bachelor. Whoa. So we also have man, dealings or relationship with a man. It could also be that maybe a friend in your life, maybe they decide, hey, I don't want to be friends anymore. You know, maybe they just decide, look, you know, I'm going to move far away. And then you kind of perceive that as a loss. I don't think it's anything too bad, right? But regardless, going forward, we have Vase, secret admirer. Hey, you know, people are definitely noticing your transformation and your growth. People are admiring you from afar. It's almost like in Sweeney Todd, where they're like, were you gandering at my ward, Joanna? Were you gandering? Yes, sir, you gandered. And it's very much that energy, right? We also have then Ring as our final card. And I love that it shows up right after secret admirer. It's like, this person is going to come in, they're going to court you, and bam, they're going to give you that ring, right? It says a marriage will take place, either romantic or business. So I love that it says a marriage, and that is the topic of this reading. Oh my goodness, it just comes full circle, and I am so about it. So oh my goodness, you are definitely going to meet the person of your dreams, you know, and it might not even be the person of your dreams traditionally. I feel like this is someone who you might even come to realize that they fit you even better than the people that were before them did, right? Maybe that's even why we have man and wreath. Maybe you're mourning your past relationships only to then have this man come into your life, the secret admirer. It could even be someone in their divine masculine. It doesn't even have to be a man. You know, it could just be someone who's very masculine, very headstrong, very stubborn, which is something that we did get earlier. You know, they come in and be like, oh, I'm your secret admirer. I'm the person who's, you know, been admiring you this whole time. And that's when we have Ring. That's when you guys are going to come together in a marriage. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching this video, though. I had so much fun reading for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a like down below and a comment as well, as I love hearing from you guys. It makes my day every day. Also, make sure to hit subscribe and also the notification bell if you have not already, to be notified every time that I post a brand new reading. But yeah, I hope that you will also check out my website, DarlingDTarot.com, for 10% off all of my readings. We are having a grand opening sale for having a brand new website, so I'm so excited for you guys to see it. So definitely check that out and maybe get a personal reading with me, right? Also, I have my Etsy in the description box down below and all of my other links. So yeah, I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye!